I-75 now back open, but you'll still notice some troopers sitting out on that stretch of Corkscrew Road heading toward 75 northbound right now. So just use extra caution. Take it slow out there. Looking good right now, though, onto the interstate, aside from that right lane closure right near Hertz Arena, northbound on the interstate. Quiet on 41 this morning. Seeing some delays coming off of Marco Island on the Jolly Bridge, heading up toward the East Trail. Just a little bit of stop-and-go traffic in this area right now. Crossing the bridges between the Cape and Fort Myers should only take you about 2-3 minutes in each direction, with no slowdowns out there right now. There's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Tuesday, Southwest Florida. We'll look forward to another typical June afternoon. Temperatures warming to near 90 degrees. It'll be hot and humid and feature a chance for some scattered thunderstorms as we head into especially after lunchtime, which could be packing some heavy rain along with lightning and maybe even some isolated gustier winds. Isolated areas of rain possible as we head into the overnight time frame before we start to see those scattered thunderstorm chances ramp up again for tomorrow afternoon and a high of 89 degrees for your Wednesday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
At Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, I strive to offer the highest level of care for those suffering with back and neck problems. With unparalleled service and our award-winning non-surgical spinal decompression approach, thousands of people have chosen us to treat their back or neck problems. If you are seeking lasting relief that is proven effective without needles or surgery, then call today to see if you may be a candidate. This completely safe treatment can be effective for many conditions, including sciatica, ruptured or herniated discs, facet syndrome, compressed nerves, arthritis, and spinal stenosis. Additionally, people who had failed back surgery in the past often find incredible relief from spinal decompression. At Johnson Spinal Care, all our treatments are drug-free and non-surgical. We use new and comprehensive approaches that provide lasting relief. Johnson Spinal Care is here to serve you. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for an immediate, no-charge telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
The top 3 reasons why you should have quartz countertops from Rock Solid.
1.
Quartz countertops are truly elegant, practical, durable, and with Rock Solid's unbelievable price and selection makes for the best overall value.
2.
Quartz countertops from Rock Solid will never stain, are maintenance-free, and carry a lifetime warranty.
3.
Here's Natalie from Naples.
Every time I look at my quartz countertops from Rock Solid, it makes my heart smile.
Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
Just your smile.
No matter what it's like outside, Trane makes it comfortable inside. You can get a great deal now on a new heating and cooling system at Trane. Visit TraneInfo.com. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local dealer and more. Because it's hard to stop a Trane. Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and get ready because it's time once again. This Friday, Oaks Farm Seed to Table, we do our first Friday live broadcast, and we love being out there and love seeing you there for the show, 6 to 9 a.m. They open up an hour earlier so that you can come in and enjoy some great breakfast and so much more. Maybe do some shopping while you're there as well. And you know how awesome Seed to Table is and what a great place it is to shop. We hope to see you there. Oaks Farm Seed to Table, our first Friday broadcast, 6 to 9 a.m. at the corner of Immokalee and Livingston Road in Naples. Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Enjoy the energizing power of the outdoors. We recommend a mid-morning break in nature. So get outside and make your morning break better with a Nature Valley granola bar.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. You just go to the website, and it's mobile friendly. It is friendly for your smart device. You can watch on your computer as well, and we do appreciate it. Coming up this morning, there's a lot to discuss. Last night, some headline-making stories from Tucker Carlson. Is this right? Is it true? So an NSA leaker, whistleblower, if you will. Although I'm not sure. Are you allowed to? If you're a Republican conservative, can you have whistleblowers, or is only Democrats that can have whistleblower? How does that work? I'm not really sure, the whistleblower thing. It always seems like when it's a whistleblower, it's always somebody against a Republican or a conservative or Trump. You know how that goes. So if you're looking at a whistleblower on the other side, does that mean it's true to okay, anyway. Is this right? An NSA leaker has revealed whistleblower says that the NSA is spying on him, plotting to get him off the air. What about that? So we're gonna play some of that, and I will make these comments before we get to that, and here's the issue at hand. The more and more we start to hear things that are highly unlikely and unbelievable when it comes to a media that will not report, that will not search, that will not do investigative reporting, that will not believe someone for saying something just because they're on the other side of the aisle and quickly dismiss it. Oh, I don't know, things like censorship, when it comes to life-saving drugs because a former president they don't like says that it could possibly be something that works and it's dismissed out of hand. A host, an evening host on a program that wipes the floor with every other cable news outlet constantly, one of the biggest shows in cable news, and when there's a problem that they discuss on that program, it is dismissed right away out of hand by a mainstream media and even those that should be investigating some of what's being reported on but isn't because politics. The more we start to hear about these things and then start to hear that the other side was the right side, that they maybe were right all along, if you will. See what I did there? That the more and more we start to hear about these stories and wait a minute, the whole Russian bounty thing against the president, that wasn't true. The Russian collusion hoax, you mean that was just a big old hoax? You mean impeachment process against the president, you mean that was politically motivated? You mean when Nancy Pelosi says she's going to put together a commission to investigate January 6th, that we can be assured of the fact that is going to be all political because it's going to be something that will be dragged out through the 22 and 24 elections to keep the president's name out there, that when the president's lawyer says, hey, listen, if the state of New York is getting ready to sue us, a story that we're going to talk about in just a second, even Politico was talking about this, how the city of New York is going to drop charges against the former president. And his lawyer was asking questions like, wait a second, you were going after us because of what? And then when they explained what they were going after without any evidence, he was like, you're not serious. When we start to hear more about these stories that have confused people and confounded people because they turn out to be exactly what the conspiracy theory tinfoil hat people have been saying all along, when these turn out to be the facts and everything else turns out to be lies, we are doing incredible damage to this country. And it's not we, it's not me, it's not you. It's the left in this country. It's look, if you don't like the fact that I say it's Democrats, then explain to me where in the Democrat Party you are or where your party is that would suggest otherwise. That the kind of damage that's being done to this country is purposeful. In other words, it doesn't have to be this way. It can stop tomorrow, today, right now. All of this can stop. I went to the doctor and I said, doctor, it hurts when I do that. And he said, don't do that. It's an old joke, but it even works for today. Just don't do it. So why are you doing it? You're not doing it to benefit the country. You're doing it for quite a different reason. By the way, I don't have a call screen up right now, so yeah. It doesn't exist? Okay. So we're going to get to that story coming up. And also, I don't know if you know this, but football is gay. Yeah, the NFL. It's gay. There's a new NFL ad out that says that football is gay. Okay. So, yeah, we'll talk about that. I mean, okay. I just saw that this morning. Thought we might touch on that a little bit. Also, Jen Psaki is defending not only the Olympian that turned her back on the anthem. Hey, listen, there's another Democrat and another reason why we believe that those that are in charge in the White House and those in the Democrat Party don't want unity at all in this country. More and more examples of how they want to kind of have disunity in this country and how they want to tear apart the fabric. Give me the examples of how Democrats are trying to unify the country. Please, I'm begging you. If you're a Democrat and listening to the sound of my voice, I'm begging you, please call this show, 239-479-5592. I'm begging you, tell me where the Democrat Party has unified the country. Where do they believe in American exceptionalism? Where do they believe in love for this country and the founding of this country? Tell me where we can come together. Tell me where you have demonstrated that we are all going to come together. Dare I say you can't do it. But listen, if you want to call this program and show me how that's the case, we'll go there. All right, so we're going to get to all of those stories and also how Jen Psaki yesterday said something so ridiculous about Republicans. Did you know it's Republicans that want to defund the police? That's a hilarious narrative. But let's see how it's gaslighted, and let's see how the media runs with it, and let's see how you Democrats out there run with it as well. It will be the quintessential example for the American people of gaslighting something into existence that may be the most ridiculous thing you will ever hear, which is that Republicans are the ones who want to defund the police. And you all know it. And man, we're going to give you an example of how they're getting ready to do that and how there are some police chiefs that are like, no. No, I beg to differ. And they will differ. And they're not begging. They're just proving it. All right. I wanted to mention this, the latest out of Surfside and the Florida condo collapse there just north of Miami Beach. And the latest, I guess, 11 people now are dead and 150 people unaccounted for. It is unbelievable what has been happening there and how our hearts just go out to those families and how awful the situation is. Cannot imagine being in that situation. And when you look at the first responders and what they are trying to do and how they are trying to find the search and rescue teams that are trying to race to see if there's any hope to account for those that are missing and find them and how there is definitely an example of a situation where we can all come together, right? Many people from around the country and the rescue teams from all over that have been coming in, experts to help from all around the globe to help with this situation, to help in the search and rescue, experts and people from around the country. And we come to find out even yesterday about the members of the Marco Patriots. They stepped up to help at the disaster zone in Surfside. Volunteers in Southwest Florida who made their way over to the East Coast to help in anything that they can do. The smallest of ways to help, to the large ways that they could help. Whether it is supplying hot meals or whether it is just supporting the first responders, whether it is individuals who have the expertise to get in there in the rubble and do something to help. It's the best of all of us to see how we come together. And there are very few incidences that you can look at with this situation and say, man, there are still people who want to try to make something out of it that doesn't exist. And there is. We brought it up yesterday. The story about how they're trying to spin this against the governor because they're already doing what somebody said coined the phrase DDS now instead of TDS, instead of Trump derangement syndrome. It's now DeSantis derangement syndrome. Have you heard about this? Now it's going to be all about DeSantis because, he's the guy. And when people are talking about 2024, they're talking about Governor DeSantis. And so now all of a sudden you're going to start to see more and more out of the media and Democrats in the state and others across the country and how awful the state is, how awful he is, and how even in a moment where we should all be able to come together. If we can't come together during a pandemic and COVID, what makes you think that every single person is going to be unified on the East Coast with Surfside, that there would be some person, there would be some entity, in this case it was the Washington Post, but how you would have somebody that would try to make the case that the governor doesn't care and he wasn't about getting disaster relief from the federal government, and he was holding on. I mean, the most ridiculous things you can possibly imagine when the mayor of Miami said, yeah, listen, we've got all the help that we could ask for, whether it's from the Biden administration and the state. And so why would you put something out like that? Why would you even do that? And it goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show, which is some of the most ridiculous things that you could never imagine would happen in this country when it comes to us being unified. And some of the most awful, distracting concepts of how you would go after political opponents are coming to fruition. And how can that be? Like, why would you do that? What are you trying to get out of it? What's the benefit to you? Well, we know what the benefit is. It's all politically, and it has to do with your ideology. And even when we're looking at critical race theory, and critical race theory is not just in and of itself the idea of critical race theory, but it goes right down the gamut of the word critical. And when you're looking at specific groups of people and how there are specific groups that are going to use the critical race theory ideology that is out there by design. This is how it's been designed. And to look at the oppressed and the oppressors and how right down the line, we're going to do everything we can, not we, but they will do everything they can to dismantle everything we know and start over in an image that is not about liberty and freedom and the way our founders intended it. And so why would we support that ideology? And are Democrats starting to turn away from that? There may be some evidence, and we're going to get to that in just a second. And going back to the state of Florida and how there are liberal states that are getting ready to target places like Florida in ways that seem so ridiculous, but they're going there. Why is it that there's a Democrat-run state, that would be California, that's getting ready to ban travel to red states like Florida? Did you know that? Like, why? Arkansas, Florida, Montana, North Dakota, and West Virginia joined 12 other states that California already targeted with a 2016 law. And they're banning state-funded travel to the states. The Attorney General of the state of California, Rob Bonta, said that they've passed laws directly targeting transgender youth. So if we feel like you're passing laws that are targeting transgender youth, then we're going to make the conscious decision that we are going to ban state-funded travel to these states. They just happen to all be red states. Targeting transgender, in what way? Can you? California must take action to avoid supporting or financing discrimination against lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people, he proclaimed. Make no mistake, we're in the midst of an unprecedented wave of bigotry and discrimination in this country, and the state of California is not going to support it. No, we're not. We're not. We don't have an unprecedented wave of racism. We don't have an unprecedented wave of bigotry. We don't have an unprecedented wave of discrimination. You're saying it. You're trying to will this to be the case, but it's not the case right now. And that's the other thing. You know, we're constantly told by by either the 20% that desperately wants to change the fabric of the country or the mainstream media lying liberal news organizations from top to bottom and a lot of other people that these are the things that are happening. And the rest of the country is like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And you don't even have the evidence to prove it. All you're doing is putting it out there as if it's fact, and it's not. And we already know how you choose truth.
We choose truth over facts.
Yeah, it's like, well, you know, that whole thing. Without a lick of evidence, without anything to look at, you know, data and science, numbers, to verify exactly what people are saying when they say this. Not the emotional part of it. Not we're trying to destroy the fabric of the country and cause race wars and cause people to look at others in ways that they never thought in a million years. No. Here's the numbers and the data and the science that would tell. No, they don't have it because it doesn't exist. But because emotionally they're trying to make a plea to people and try to change the fabric, they'll do things like this. Oh yeah, we're gonna stop state-sponsored travel. So you're not gonna be able to in California. Hey, what do you say we all go to Orlando and you guys can take your families? Oh no, you can't do that. We're not gonna do any kind of business with the state of Florida because they're direct targeting of transgender youth, but they can't explain what that is or what that looks like. So. There's so much out there that you can see that is politically driven, is ideologically driven, from the smallest of things, like therapeutics that could save lives, hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, to the largest of issues across the board. You have to ask yourself why one side is doing this to the other. You don't hear about it in the reverse, and you don't hear about it from other individuals except for the left in this country and Democrats, and ask yourself why. Is this to make a more perfect union? In what way? Or is it to destroy the union and destroy us from within in order to create something else? Seriously, ask yourself that question. All right, 239-479-5592. All right, when we come back, some audio from Jen Psaki and some of the most ridiculous things you'll ever hear. You know, Republicans voted to defund police. Really? When? How? Oh, well, she'll explain, and we'll explain why it's ridiculous. And more on the way. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 Fox News.
Water Sousa Boat Club. Join us every Saturday morning from 7 to 8 for the Baywater Boat Club Hour. We talk boats, fishing, boating hotspots, water quality, on top of Jake the Millennial and I just having fun on the radio. And if you don't have a boat, Baywater Sousa Boat Club has got you covered. Just call me, Adam, at 239-495-0455.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
Hannity at 3 and drive home with Trey Radel at 5. Now, back to Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Look how they park. They park on the line. And see how evenly spaced they are? Imagine if everybody at Walmart parked on the line. It would lessen the amount of dings and give you space to get in and out of your car. We've been doing it wrong the whole time, y'all.
Is he right? There's a video that's gone viral on TikTok, and doesn't the way that people talk about TikTok, it's like every video goes viral. I mean, it doesn't, but okay. So here's a guy who's claiming that we're parking our vehicles wrong. Everybody's doing it wrong. You're not supposed to park in between the lines. You're supposed to park on the line. And if you actually pull your car on the line, and everybody does that, then it leaves space on both sides of the car. Is that true? Is that possible? That's how you evenly space. The line is the middle of your car. You don't park in the space between the lines. You park on the line. Could he be right? I mean, not that that's the way it's been designed, because we would have known that that's the way it was designed. But if everybody did that, is he right that we would all be evenly spaced and you'd have more room on the side of the car? Could he have figured something out here?
No.
No, that's it. Why have you dismissed this?
Because you ever seen the little cement thing that indicates where you park?
You mean the cement thing? What's a cement? Isn't cement, isn't it one of those creatures that people see at the beach every once in a while, comes around every 6 months, and they're pretty disgusting? Isn't that a cement?
Maybe.
Okay. The cement. Well, I'm not talking about, right. What he's saying is, okay, so your suggestion is the cement that stops you from rolling forward into the car in front of you, those cement
what are they called,
curbs.
man?
They're like little curbs that stop you
Yeah, I know,
from...
but I've been thinking for like...
Right. But it doesn't matter. It's just... They still work the same whether you were to park on the line or in the space. What if everybody tried to park on a line instead of in the space? Why not test the theory?
I think you're asking way too much.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you to think outside of the box.
Most people can't park in between the lines. What makes you think that they could park on the line?
Okay, hold on a second. Did you hear what I just did? I said I'm trying to get you to think outside the box. See what I did there? He might be right.
Parking curb? What are they called?
Before we move on with something much, much more important than what we're doing right now. This coming from the TikTok chef. This coming from the person who's making brownies out of 5 ingredients in his microwave in less than 30 seconds with things that I can't even explain how disgusting it sounds.
It was gross.
Yeah, what's your brownie? How did you...
It's 3 tablespoons of peanut butter, 1 whole egg, and a tablespoon of sugar. That's it. Just stir it up.
And do what with it?
Put it in the microwave for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
You microwaved peanut butter and egg and what?
And sugar. And it literally just smelled like peanut butter.
Okay.
Tasted the same.
So no liquid whatsoever in. So you, the TikTok chef, you will go and make a brownie out of whatever you just described.
It rose.
Okay, now you got somebody's listening. Okay, so this is, just understand, Jake the Millennial will try to make a brownie out of 3 ingredients in his microwave, but will completely dismiss this guy who's trying to save the side of car doors all across the country, and he may be onto something, and you think it's too much to ask. It's a big ask.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, I do think that's the case, yeah.
He's probably right. All right, 239-479-5592. Hey, we'll see you on Friday. Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples as we do our first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 a.m. Hope you'll be there and join us. It's always a lot of fun. We get the opportunity to hang with you. They open an hour early so you can grab breakfast, grab some coffee, and we still don't know whether Jake's going to be there, but he is in demand. And I think of all the weekends, the holiday weekend should be the one that you show up.
Do I go?
What?
Do I go today or Friday? Do I go?
Oh, you want to ask the...
Yeah, do I go?
Ask
them.
the audience. Okay. All right, let's do this. An informal poll, and this will either increase Jake's... This will be like a lift to his ego, or you'll completely crush him. Just text the word yes or no to 239-479-5592. Do it right now. Let's flood the text line and give Jake an opportunity to either raise the level of his ego or completely crush it like his soul-crushing mullet is to his social life. All right, let's move on. That's not really true. Okay, kind of. All right, so speaking of crushing and ridiculously, it's not really soul-crushing. It's only soul-crushing if you think of it as in terms of how there are those that will try to have you believe that Republicans voted to defund the police. It's laughable except for the fact that Democrats are devoid of anything that would be substantive, is that right? The right word? Substantial discussion, substantial debate on the issues. So everything has to be either gaslighting you into believing something is true when it's not, or it has to be dismissing you because of their emotions and putting you aside, and that's where the discussion goes. Jen Psaki said something so ridiculous yesterday, people are laughing, but there's a motivation here because they can make the case to get you to believe it and kind of question and say, maybe she's right. Is she right? Listen to this. Republicans voted to defund the police.
Something one of the advisors said this weekend, Cedric Richmond, he said, Republicans defunded the police by not supporting the American Rescue Plan. But how is it that that is an argument to be made when the president never mentioned needing money for police to stop a crime wave when he was selling the American Rescue Plan?
Okay, so you're following this. So the president never said anything about needing money in the American Rescue Plan, the trillions of dollars. He never said anything about needing the money so that departments could fund police. We all know what the defund the police movement has been. It has not been anything about, well, we don't have enough money, we just can't do it, so we have to defund because it's a budgetary issue. It's never been anything like that. The media knows it. Democrats know it. Jen Psaki knows it. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. So how do you spin your way out of this? This lie, just a ridiculous notion that Republicans, if they would have voted for it, there would have been all kinds of money to fund their police. Listen to this.
The president did mention that the American Rescue Plan, the state and local funding, something that was supported by the president, a lot of Democrats who supported and voted for the bill, could help ensure local cops were kept on the beat in communities across the country.
Let me just stop there. They could have. It could help. That money could help. If the money was there, they could have used it if they wanted to. The problem isn't that could or couldn't. The reality is they wouldn't. They wouldn't use that money. You know and I know that the places that are calling for the defunding of police are not doing it because of budgetary issues. They're doing it because of the dislike of police departments and changing it to a community patrol and, I don't know, safety patrol and people walking around just yelling really loud with blaring whistles and, hey, get away from that. We know the stories. But she's trying to make the case that if you just would have voted for it, the money would have been there. What a ridiculous notion.
As you know, didn't receive a single Republican vote. That funding has been used to keep cops on the beat.
Yeah, that funding was, that's what it was. If the Republicans would have voted for it, the money would have been there. And there's no doubt that if that money was sitting there, that they would have used that money to fund police departments. But Republicans wouldn't do it. It's ridiculous on its face, and Peter Ducey called her out for it.
At the time, that was sold as these local police departments might have a pandemic-related budget shortfall, not we need to keep cops on the beat because there's a crime wave.
You're right. This isn't about the whole idea was, well, they need the money because of COVID, and that's the problem. But we have crime waves that are happening, and they need more policing. And the idea that there are places in this country that, knowing that, will not fund departments proves the point that even if they had the money, they wouldn't use it.
I think that any local department would argue that keeping cops on the beat to keep communities safe when they had to, because of budget shortfalls, fire police is something that helped them address crime in their local communities.
In the local communities, the White House's argument was the American Rescue Plan is going to be $1,400 checks. It's going to be vaccines, vaccinators. It's going to put us on the path to beating the virus.
It did those things as well. It was a pretty good bill and piece of legislation.
Yeah, not really. Okay. So Jen Psaki wants you to believe that in the American Rescue Plan, there was money to fund police departments, and that if that money were to end up in Democrat-led states, places like California, cities like, I don't know, I'll pick one at random, Oakland, that they would take that money and use that money towards departments to build up their policing there, to build up police departments. The problem is that the very day, yesterday, that Jen Psaki made these comments is the very day that something very interesting happened in the city of Oakland. What happened there? Oakland Police Chief LaRon Armstrong, the city council, had the opportunity, had the funds. It's not that they didn't have it. They had the funds to fund the police department and to fund the department's budget. They have the money. They made a choice. Listen to this.
Saturday night, I went out to a scene of a young man that lost his life. And a lady yelled out the window, "Do something about it." I'll start off today by saying that I'm challenged by the decisions that were made on Thursday around the budget for the city of Oakland, particularly for the Oakland Police Department. But today we find ourselves in a crisis.
They're in a crisis. There's a crisis in Oakland, California. On Thursday, the city council voted to cut millions of dollars away from the department's budget. They had the opportunity to even keep the budget as is, but decided to cut it. And they had it. They made the conscious decision. Well, it can't be that bad, Drew. I mean, how bad could Oakland possibly be right now when it comes to crime? It's not that bad, is it?
We find ourselves reeling from a weekend of violence where we've seen 4 homicides over a 3-day period. It now has us currently at 65 homicides for the year. It's a 90% increase compared to last year.
90% increase.
Our shootings are up over 70% this year. Our robberies are up 11% this year. It's been 1,300 robberies in this city already this year. Our carjackings are up nearly 88%. So we see clearly that crime is out of control in the city of Oakland, and our response was for less police resources.
Less police resources, that was the response. If all the evidence is there to show that there's amid this crime surge, remind us how you're going to look at Republicans and say it's your fault. I mean, all we needed was to have that money. You could have kept things exactly the way they were. You decided to cut. It wasn't because the funds weren't there. It's because you're going to do it anyway, even if the money was available.
I want to address a comment that was made by one of our city leaders during these budget meetings. It was referred to as a bump in the road, a speed bump, that we would go through a period where there would be speed bumps and there would be challenges and things may not go right, but we would be okay. Well, for me, those speed bumps are 65 lives so far this year.
It's just a speed bump. That's all it is. It's no big deal. It's not like it's going to continue. It's not like it's going to go even further. There's nothing to see here. Everything is fine. It's just we just got to hold it together, and it's just a little bump in the road. That's all it is. That's what the city council in Oakland wants the police chief to believe. He doesn't believe it. He sees what's going on the street. It's not just a bump. And another important aspect to this is that bump, quote unquote, those little bumps, if they're not addressed, become giant roadblocks, which soon become the whole road is gone, which soon leads to even more crime than you can possibly imagine. But that's the spin. And keep an eye out for it. I bring this up, and as we go to break right now, Jake, it's this. Keep an eye out for the gaslighting that is to come, to say that it's Republicans' fault that the issues of crime are going on in major metropolitan cities and blue cities across the country. It's not the fault of the policies of the city councils or the mayors or the governors. No. It's the fault of Republicans who don't want to fund it. And that's the biggest problem. Because if the money were there, oh, absolutely they would do it when everybody knows they wouldn't. Oh, gosh, I just whispered. I just pulled to Joe Biden. Why didn't you stop me? He sees dead people. Yeah, that was weird. Sorry about that. Man, I got to catch myself. Why would you do that? All right, let's take a break. Stay break 92.5 Fox News right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? The Good Feet store specializes in foot pain relief. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers. Or stop in for a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America.
NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1030.
Hello, Facebook, YouTube. Can you guys hear me?
True relief for back and neck pain.
Back or neck pain is not just unpleasant, it can be debilitating, preventing you from performing your daily routine and even confining you to bed. In decades past, patients suffering from spinal issues were often just given pain medication, spinal injections, and, when they did not heal, often underwent spinal surgery. Luckily, there is now another option, non-surgical spinal decompression. At Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, we use an advanced technology to apply a completely safe unloading force to relieve nerve compression associated with bulging herniated discs, sciatica, stenosis, scoliosis, neuropathy. This award-winning approach, safe for any age, has gained international praise from physicians for its success.
Can you not hear us anywhere else? I'm confused. There's people saying that they couldn't hear me, so.
Friendly office today for an immediate, no charge.
Or us in general.
596 Back. 596 BACK. That's 596-2225.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire with Grace with Bob Grace, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon to get the answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retire with Grace, a Tri-Found company, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
What's the best way to celebrate July 4th weekend? With a no-pay holiday. Now through Monday, and only at Florida's #1 Nissan dealers, Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Buy a car, pay nothing. Zip, zero, nada. No pay at Sutherland means no money down, no interest financing, and no payments till 2022. Just announced through Monday only. Sutherland is giving you the freedom to trade any vehicle, any make or model, and get paid $8,000 over book value for it. Shop a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. 2 stores full of inventory. And this July 4th weekend, you don't pay at Sutherland. No money down, no interest, and no payments till 2022. Hurry before this no-pay holiday goes. Nobody gives you bigger, brighter, and better July 4th savings. But they end Monday. Only at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. Online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
What makes Genesis of Naples the #1 selling Genesis dealer in the nation? It's our incredible selection and professional sales staff. Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples. When I drive my beautiful new 2021 Genesis GV80 around town, the first thing everyone says to me is, what is that beautiful SUV? I tell them it's the all-new first ever SUV from Genesis. Then they usually ask, how much does it cost? I know it's hard to believe, but it starts at just $49,500 and the fully equipped Prestige for just over $70,000. It has an amazing interior and breathtaking design and your choice of turbo engines and rear and all-wheel drive. But that's not all. New 2021 Genesis G70s have 0% financing and 72 months plus $1,000 cash back. And we have a huge selection of the all-new 2021 Genesis G80s and G90s. Come visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or genesisofnaples.com.
All offers with approved credit on select models based on January 2021 retail sales. 72 months of $0 per month per 1,000 finance. No down payment required.
Tune in on Sunday mornings, Fox News 92.5, Dr. Amy Robbins, and Maximize Living Radio. I'm going to be going over topics like leaky gut, weight loss resistance, how to fix your chronic aches and pains, how to deal with all of those things in a natural way, how to sleep better. So there's a different topic every single week that we're going to be covering. Tune in and get the help that you need.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Kennedy at 3 and Drive Home with Trey Radel at 5. Now, back to Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida.
150 people still unaccounted for. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Very tough on their families in Surfside, Florida.
They might not have their loved ones come out alive and still hope against hope that they will.
Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava's crews searched the rubble of that collapsed condo building on the 6th day.
It is expected to be another difficult day in terms of search and rescue efforts, certainly with rain in the forecast throughout the day. Hundreds of rescue workers try to make their way through deep pockets of concrete and metal at the site of that partial collapse.
Fox's Charles Watson in Surfside, where there are 11 confirmed deaths. The president will go to Wisconsin today, standing by an infrastructure compromise days after he threatened to veto it right after agreeing to it, if not tied to another plan only Democrats support.
Administration officials continue to be in cleanup mode after many Republicans say they essentially felt duped after negotiating on a bipartisan basis with the president of the United States. President Biden out with a new op-ed. I want to read part of it to you, specifically about this infrastructure package. He says, in part, there is plenty of work ahead to finish the job. There will be disagreements to resolve and more compromise to be forged, but this is a deal the American people can be proud of.
Fox's David Spunt. No Americans were hurt, but there appears to be attempted retaliation to the U.S. airstrikes that hit Iraq and Syria. Fox's Simon Owen has more live.
Dave, hours after the U.S. launched airstrikes targeting militias supported by Iran, the U.S. military says American forces in Syria were attacked by multiple rockets yesterday evening. The military says no one was hurt and that troops responded with artillery fire. The U.S. had described the earlier airstrikes as defensive and designed to limit escalations, but militia groups responded by calling for revenge. Dave?
America's listening. Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Tuesday morning. Watching a crash right now blocking the southeast lanes along Tamiami Trail East.
heading through Bayshore Road in East Naples. Watch out for some delays building up in that area because of a crash with injuries. To get around it, you want to take 41 to Davis and then take Airport farther south to get back on the East Trail and avoid those slowdowns. We also have a crash on Plantation Road right near Daniels Parkway, causing delays in both directions between Winkler and Daniels. And heading out on the bridges between the Cape and Fort Myers should only take you a few minutes in each direction, about 2-3 minutes right now on the Midpoint and Cape Coral Bridge. Downtown 41 Bridge is not seeing any problems. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Tuesday, Southwest Florida. We'll look forward to another typical June afternoon. Temperatures warming to near 90 degrees. It'll be hot and humid and feature a chance for some scattered thunderstorms as we head into especially after lunchtime, which could be packing some heavy rain along with lightning and maybe even some isolated gustier winds. Isolated areas of rain possible as we head into the overnight time frame before we start to see those scattered thunderstorm chances ramp up again for tomorrow afternoon in a high of 89 degrees for your Wednesday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I am mad at everything going on.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We want your car, truck, van, or SUV today. We are paying top dollar for clean vehicles. Before you sell or trade, call Lee Auto Group to get the most money for your car. Lee Auto Group, lee-cars.com. Don't forget the dash.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Inside the train testing facility, our heating and cooling products go through endless torture tests to ensure they can run through anything. And when we say torture, we don't take that lightly. We drop them, slam them against the wall, shake them, and then expect them to run without an extra decibel in our anechoic sound chamber. Without fail. Drop, slam, shake, silence. Drop, slam, shake, silence. And there's no end in sight. We test, so it runs.
Things are heating up, and you may notice that old AC system just isn't keeping up like it used to. It's time for you to get the Purified experience. Visit purifiedac.com to get special financing on a new system installation. Subject to credit approval, see dealer for details. Purified Air also offers free estimates and 24/7 emergency service so you can have the Purified experience when you need it the most. Visit purifiedac.com to get the Purified experience for yourself. That's purifiedac.com, license number CAC 1817070.
It's hard to stop a train.
Look and feel your best with Dr. Patrick Flaherty, hosted by me, Gina Birch. Want to hear the latest from an expert? Tune in Saturday at 10 a.m. and hear all the latest innovations in non-surgical, surgical, and lifestyle ideas to help you look and feel your best. Dr. Patrick Flaherty is known for his faces, the fabulous Azul Spa, and now you get your hour with this doctor every Saturday at 10 a.m. Dr. Patrick Flaherty's show is Look and Feel Your Best, hosted by me, Gina Birch. Tune in this Saturday at 10 a.m. and hear how to look and feel your best.
Jason and Todd want to light up your 4th of July weekend and celebrate big this year by offering you 5 years interest-free financing July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. The Diamond District is offering you 5 years interest-free financing on the largest selection of GIA loose certified diamonds and diamond jewelry.
Injuries on the job can cause you to lose control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar Levine. Money is not coming in and your medical bills are piling up. Our legal team is here to help. We can help you file all your workers' compensation claims to make sure you get the proper benefits you're entitled to. If you've been injured on the job, call the law offices of Anajar Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Office in Naples.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Good to see you here. 239-479-5592. That's the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. We always appreciate you watching this program. So we come to find out this morning, the NFL on Monday has a brand new ad out. Football is lesbian. Football is beautiful. Football is queer. Football is life. Football is exciting. Football is culture. Football is transgender. Football is for everyone. So that's out, and I don't know why they feel the need to have to say all of those things. If you watch football, you like football, you watch football. If you don't want to watch football, you don't watch. Oh, by the way, we also heard this week, in case you missed it, that not everybody is woke enough as things go. The player for the who is it? Is it the Raiders? Is that who it was? The tight end for the Raiders that came out as gay. I forget his name. Nassib, is that his name? Came out as gay. Was it last week? Come to find out that apparently he's voted Republican. I guess maybe he is a Republican or he voted for Republican candidates. All woke off. All wokeness is off now. That's it. There was a moment in time when everybody was like excited there, and I guess the LGBTQ plus 2A. I'm just not sure that all the letters and numbers are going to get them all right. Did I miss one?
I was going to say he can't be the first one to publicly come out because he doesn't fit the narrative anymore. So they're going to have to find somebody else.
Well, I don't know how that works. So it's kind of they've quieted down, I guess, a little bit. It's not as, it's not the perfect scenario. I don't know how that works. But anyway, so there's that news. Anyway. So just putting that out there. There seems to be a lot of, how much of what the NFL is doing is something that's inherent in the league and something that they've always thought, but now feel that it's just the time to do it, to say it, just feels right. And how much of it is pressure. And that's all it is. It's just there's the cancel culture, as it has been known, and don't be dismissive of a cancel culture. Sometimes we joke about the cancel culture, and as we talk about it, it's like not. We just kind of joke and then we move on. Yeah, that's what happens. People getting canceled, but it's deeper than that, right? I mean, this goes into the critical race theory theorists and what they're trying to do and cancel certain individuals out to reach this perfect utopia of equity, equality of outcomes. You don't even have equality of outcomes in your home. Who was that? Wasn't it Thomas Sowell who said that? It's like, you don't even have that in your own home. You're expecting a society to do that. This notion is ridiculous of what is being discussed. But again, when it comes to the cancel culture that's out there, how much of what people are doing, corporations are doing, is because they are so fearful of the minority of voices that are out there, the very small percentage of the American people that are the loudest and get support from the media, the left in this country, and Democrats who do things because they want to be the ones to be lifted up, to be looked at as the most woke, to be the ones that are going to be looked at as the ones who really genuinely, truly care about a community. Like we talked about yesterday when the President of the United States signed that national monument for the Pulse nightclub, when everybody knows, and now after the fact, and how the narrative of the Pulse nightclub has been completely debunked. It wasn't. Omar Mateen was not somebody who was searching out to kill gay people, 50 gay people. Horrific crime, a horrific situation that took place there at Pulse nightclub. Awful, horrific. Human lives were taken, but this narrative that's why he did it, completely debunked. Not true, but yet now there's going to be a monument there that's going to suggest that that's what happened at Pulse nightclub for generations to come, when it's not true. It's people that are perpetrating a lie. It's bad enough that lives were lost. That's all you need to know. The fact you're making it a national monument for the LGBTQ community when he did not go there specifically to kill gays, that's not what he was doing, is wrong. And that's where the cancel culture becomes incredibly dangerous, because now the lies become truth. Generations will grow up believing lies. And if you have people that are in power who know that they can gaslight you into believing something that is not true, why would they stop? Especially when there are those who are like, listen, we don't want trouble. As a matter of fact, we want to be loved. So we'll go along with whatever you want us to say so that you will be nice to us, not dox us, not cause us trouble, not make us look bad. It's not the way things should be. So there's that story. And some others, I guess I can get to this one right now. And it goes to what is and isn't happening. And some of the, either what Tucker Carlson said last night is a flat out lie. It's not happening. It's not true. And the NSA is not spying on him, or they are. And in which case, why? This was kind of surprising, or maybe not, from Tucker Carlson's show last night.
But it's not just political protesters the government is spying on. Yesterday, we heard from a whistleblower within the U.S. government who reached out to warn us that the NSA, the National Security Agency, is monitoring our electronic communications and is planning to leak them in an attempt to take this show off the air.
Now, let me just stop right there. If that is true, then we've entered a completely different place. Because if the suggestion is that the NSA is now spying on Tucker Carlson because they want him off the air, that affects free press, that affects speech, our First Amendment rights, and how and why would they do this?
Now, that's a shocking claim, and ordinarily we'd be skeptical of it. It's illegal for the NSA to spy on American citizens. It's a crime. It's not a third world country. Things like that should not happen in America. But unfortunately, they do happen, and in this case, they did happen. The whistleblower, who is in a position to know, repeated back to us information about a story that we are working on that could have only come directly from my texts and emails. There's no other possible source for that information, period. The NSA captured that information without our knowledge and did it for political reasons. The Biden administration is spying on us. We have confirmed that.
Okay. He's confirmed it. But why would they do it? Is it true? Is the Biden administration now doing everything in its power to really make it an Obama 2.0 to have political enemies silenced, to gaslight certain situations into being and lies into truth? I mean, is that really happening? And we can get into this story, and if you want to check out the program, Tucker's program, to find out more about this story, certainly I would encourage you to do it. But at the same time, let's maybe remember what the problem is fundamentally here. We gave and we are giving the federal government powers, the swamp, the deep state, if you will, powers that we were told we can trust would never be abused. And the most honest of us wouldn't do it. Not everybody is. And so you always have to ask, what is your motivation for this? Why do this to Tucker Carlson? Why isn't it being done to anybody else? Why does it always seem that when things do happen, it's always conservatives that it happens to? Why is it that when you have the situation that happened with, wasn't it MailChimp and the Babylon Bee? I think that's right. And when MailChimp suspended the Babylon Bee because they claimed that they were violating their standard terms and usage, and the Babylon Bee is like, we're a faith-based company, and we are doing satire against the left, using the left to create satire because you are all a joke and humorous and great fodder to create that with. And then you don't like that that's being done successfully, so now you decide that you're going to suspend accounts, email marketing accounts, for violating terms when everybody knows why it is. And then the company says, no, we made a mistake. Everything's okay. We didn't realize what. And then good for Babylon B's like, no, that's okay. We're good. We'll find somebody else. When that happens, you ask yourself why. And again, it goes to not only why are you doing it, what are you afraid of? But on the NSA level, the bigger problem in the question becomes, why doesn't it happen to anybody else? Why does it seem it always happens to certain former presidents when it always happens to certain conservatives and Republicans? Why? And that power seems to just go one way. And when people say, listen, you can give us more power and you can trust us with it, the problem is that everybody isn't as honest as you. 239-479-5592. All right, when we come back, let's see. I wanted to get to, there's, I know there's a bunch of stories that I want to get to this morning. Talking about censorship and speech, is Amazon now saying what can be humor and satire? Is that right? Now they're trying to pick and choose what is funny and what isn't. Isn't this a thing that comedians have warned against for the longest time? Is now we're going to have like the comedy police? Is that what we're going to do? The satire police? Well, just like the story I mentioned, it seems like that's the case. Oh, and more Jen Psaki from yesterday. What does the president have to say about the Olympian that turned her back on the anthem? It may surprise you to find the answer. Then again, just to give you a hint on what it is, it's not going to surprise you. It is definitely disturbing. We'll get to that coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic, here is Therese O'Shea.
Good Tuesday morning. Keeping an eye on a disabled vehicle causing some slight delays on Bayshore Road right near I-75. So watch out for some westbound slowdowns out there in that area. Looking good onto 75 itself. We're not seeing any major problems up and down the interstate across Charlotte, Lee, or Collier counties. 41, though, we do have a crash with injuries in East Naples right near Bayshore Drive, causing some slowdowns still with the southbound lane closures out there for that crash right near that area off of Airport Road south of downtown Naples. Clear if you're heading out onto the bridges between the Cape and Fort Myers. Should only take you a few minutes in each direction. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Another textbook summer afternoon on tap for us, hot, humid, with a chance for some scattered storms, capable of producing some heavy rain later on today. Look for a high near 90 degrees today with a low of 74 degrees for tonight. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
What if I told you there was a way to step into another gear for your brain and be much sharper, more focused, and improve your memory to a level that you could only dream about, and notice these results in 30 minutes? Hard to believe? Neuroscientists are calling this new brain discovery the biggest advancement in brain science to date. It's called Limitless, the brain pill of the future. Take it, and within 30 minutes, you'll transport your mind to a new level of focus and clarity you would have never thought possible.
I took Limitless, and it started working in minutes. All of a sudden, it felt like a dark cloud had been lifted up right before my eyes. I have a mental clarity I've never felt before.
Biz execs, athletes, teachers, and students are calling Limitless a secret weapon for the brain. You have nothing to lose, so call now and find out how to get a free bottle today.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Limitless, call 800-681-9041. That's 800-681-9041. Free bottle for a limited time. Call now, 800-681-9041, 800-681-9041.
Are you looking to have built or repaired a shingle, metal, or tile roof? Do you want to hire a company where the owner personally inspects your job and every job? Hello, I'm Jimmy Williamson of WB Williamson Brothers Roofing. If the answer is yes,
844-WB-BUILT.
WB Williamson Brothers Roofing represents the fourth generation of a tradition that began with my grandfather back in 1967. And it's a tradition of building something that you can be proud to put your name on. If you need a quote for the construction or repair of a shingle, metal, or tile roof, call me, Jimmy.
844-WB-BUILT.
Or visit us at 2944 South Street in Fort Myers. Williamson Brothers Roofing also specializes in stand and seam metal roofs and commercial flat roofs. Satisfied clients include Florida Gulf Coast University and Pensacola State College. Call Williamson Brothers Roofing at 844-WB-BUILT. That's 844-WB-BUILT. That's 844-WB-BUILT.
It's Rockstar Harley's pre-owned red tag sale this week. Hundreds of Harleys tagged with liquidation pricing. Good credit, bad credit, no credit, 100% of applications accepted. Save thousands this week only at Rockstar Harley's pre-owned red tag sale. It ends this Sunday on approved credit.
Summer real deals are here.
We're bringing back good times and great food.
Mel's is taking the heat off rising prices by bringing you cool summer real deals. Monday, every selection on the Golden Oldies menu is $10. We're talking Mel's famous meatloaf, chicken tenders, hot roast, and more, including sides. Just $10 with beverage purchase. Wednesday, Mel's award-winning fall off the bone baby back ribs, served with coleslaw, super salad. It's a summer real deal at just $12.99. Thursday, enjoy a half-pound prepared-to-order Braveheart Black Angus cheeseburger with fries and slaw, plus a domestic draft, $9.99. And how about this? A summer real deal Friday and Saturday date night featuring Mel's fresh roasted USDA choice prime rib, together with a glass of wine, just $15.99. Now that's a winning summer real deal. Summer real deals are happening now at Mel's Diner.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. Coming up, Dan Bongino does it again, making news headlines over the weekend on his Saturday show. I didn't realize this. So the former DNI, John Ratcliffe, had something to say about the UFO reports that are going on, and should we be worried about this? Did you? I don't know if you heard about this. This is something that's going to pique the interest of Ian Hicken, who's in the other room, and Jake the Millennial, who loves to talk about aliens. You're going to love this story, or not love the story, as the case may be. All right. Let's see. Joe's in Estero, and Joe wanted to comment on something that I have to be honest, I don't know about. And so I'm looking at right now, and Jake is feeding me info. So this has to do with possible failure points emerging in the Miami area, building collapse that's being discussed, but maybe something else. Joe, please explain. What's your theory here?
Well, Drew, they did a test explosion off the Florida coast from the USS Gerald Ford. And they said that this massive blast caused a 3.9 earthquake on shore. And it was about 100 miles west of the coast. You know, I mean, that nobody's saying anything about that. But, I mean, if this building was weak to begin with, I'm wondering if that could have affected the structure at all.
I'm looking
talking about it, but
I'm looking at Jake just sent me what looks like a GIF or a GIF. I don't know if it's GIF or GIF. I think GIF is the peanut butter, and GIF is what I'm looking at of the explosion that happened. And the Guardian UK talked about it 6 days ago about this shock exercise harming marine animals off the coast. The Miami Herald said 3 days ago what the probe of this collapse might look like, and it appears as if, to your point, even the Miami Herald was saying this might be something to look at. There were 3 things that they came up with, Joe. One says a failure in the condo tower's foundation, which is something that people are discussing. Steel corrosion in the concrete structure, which is something that was coming up because there were inspections that were done, and millions of dollars of work that needed to be done on the building that apparently didn't get done, and the question becomes why. And it's not more regulation. It's the fact that people were avoiding the work that needed to be done. And one of the other ones is what you just mentioned, which is this explosion. And yeah, I guess this is going to be part of all of what will be looked at. And man, I'll tell you but then the question becomes, Joe, then why were other buildings not affected by it? And I guess the suggestion would be because of the issues with the construction of the building.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, 3.9, if it registered 3.9, that was quite a jolt.
Yeah.
And for a failing building, it could have been what put it over the top. I don't know.
There's going to be a lot, and I know. And listen, thanks for the call. I appreciate you listening as well. And I don't know, there's going to be a lot that people will look at, for sure.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company, but all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, 4 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So, we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free total inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free total inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free total inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1326213.
Hi, I'm Keith, the owner of Storm Shield Windows and Doors in North Fort Myers. And when it comes to hurricane windows and doors, you have two choices, Storm Shield and all the rest. Here's what our client Lauren had to say.
I work from home, so my home is also my office. And when I'm working, especially since my office is in the back room, I get all of the daytime sunshine. When I'm sitting in my office, I can tell the heat of the day is coming in because it's coming in through my old windows. So one of the benefits I experience directly, day in and day out, is having cooler temperatures in my room as a result of getting Storm Shield windows. My old windows, the heat came in, the room got hot, my air conditioning continued to work harder, and now we don't have any of that.
Storm Shield's windows and doors reduce the exterior noise by up to 80%, and our clients typically see an average energy savings of 40%. Why choose Storm Shield? Because everyone deserves the best. Call us today at 239-491-7002 or visit stormshieldSWFL.com.
In business, it's never just another day. Every day is the day that could bring your biggest order yet or a new cyber threat. Whatever the day holds, with Comcast Business, you'll be prepared. With a network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses, Comcast Business Security Edge to help protect your connected devices, and a dedicated team available 24/7. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with a great offer for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Want even more speed? Ask how to get up to 10 gigs for your small business. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers only. Early termination fee applies. Requires EcoBill and autopay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Security Edge not included. Actual speeds vary.
News. I'm Chris Foster. 6 days since an apartment building collapsed in Surfside, Florida. 150 people are unaccounted for, with 11 deaths confirmed.
Michael Noriega holds on tight to his faith that rescuers will find his grandmother, Hilda.
It's not over, and our family and I, we believe that God is bigger than this situation.
These first responders are motivated by their drive to find survivors and by these families who hope a loved one is fighting to stay alive.
WSVN's Maricela Burgos. Los Angeles County, California health officials are recommending that everyone, even people who are vaccinated for coronavirus, wear masks in public indoors.
They're concerned about the global surge in the highly contagious Delta variant of COVID-19 and said that until we better understand how and to whom the variant is spreading, everyone should focus on maximum protection.
Fox's Carmen Roberts. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Tuesday morning. Keeping an eye on a disabled vehicle causing some slight delays on Bayshore Road right near I-75. So watch out for some westbound slowdowns out there in that area. Looking good onto 75 itself. We're not seeing any major problems up and down the interstate across Charlotte, Lee, or Collier counties. 41, though, we do have a crash with injuries in East Naples right near Bayshore Drive, causing some slowdown still with the southbound lane closures out there for that crash right near that area off of Airport Road south of downtown downtown Naples. Clear if you're heading out onto the bridges between the Cape and Fort Myers. Should only take you a few minutes in each direction. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Tuesday, Southwest Florida. We'll look forward to another typical June afternoon. Temperatures warming to near 90 degrees. It'll be hot and humid and feature a chance for some scattered thunderstorms as we head into especially after lunchtime, which could be packing some heavy rain along with lightning and maybe even some isolated gustier winds. Isolated areas of rain possible as we head into the overnight time frame before we start to see those scattered thunderstorm chances ramp up again for tomorrow afternoon and a high of 89 degrees for your Wednesday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Southwest Florida's place to talk about
coronavirus. It's on the police.
Everything.
Give me liberty or give me COVID-19.
92.5 Fox News.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
I'm Harvey Massey. At Massey Services, we know every lawn is unique and requires customized care. That's why our environmental approach includes aeration, which allows water and nutrients to reach the roots of your lawn, as well as an irrigation program which ensures proper coverage and reduces water waste. With Massey's Green Up program, you'll enjoy a healthy and a beautiful lawn year-round. That's Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
What makes your perfect 4th of July plate? How about ice-cold watermelon, juicy hamburgers and hot dogs, sweet corn on the cob, and potato salad made from scratch? Top it off with some handcrafted lemonade. Whatever makes your perfect 4th of July plate, Seed to Table and Oaks Farms Market have you covered. Happy Independence Day from Seed to Table and Oaks Farms Market.
Ty Lassiter here, Managing Partner and CEO of Key City Capital. I think we can all admit that our origin has a lot of importance in what we will become. Many of you didn't originate from Florida, but you have come here and that choice has altered your path for the rest of your life, especially how much taxes you pay if you came here from the Northeast. So what is Key City Capital's origin? Why did we choose to move to Southwest Florida? Our mission is to connect capital to wealth through passive real estate and alternative investments. Very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors. For over 10 years, we have never missed a monthly interest payment to our partners, and we have never lost a penny of our investors' capital. That is history you can build and rely on.
If you're looking for significant returns from real estate and alternative investments, call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com.
Dave Spano from Annex Wealth Management. After all we've been through, isn't it time to focus on what really matters? Living your best life. There are a lot of moving pieces when it comes to investment and retirement planning. It's important to get it right, and we can help. AnnexWealth.com is the place to start. Click the Get Started button. Put a pro on your side with a local, fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management. AnnexWealth.com.
Dial star 2020. Friends, I care.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. Summer is around the corner. Let me ask you, how great is it to go take a walk in 95-degree heat, 100% humidity, no rain, and your glasses on? Ever try playing sports with your glasses on in the summer? How about even just heading into the pool? It's annoying. It's terrible. Do yourself a favor. Go get LASIK. I did. I did it with Dr. Jonathan France and his team, and honest to God, my life has been changed. It's amazing. I mean, imagine just waking up in the morning and not having to deal with looking at the alarm clock, fumbling for your glasses, playing sports, whatever it may be. LASIK is the way. Give Dr. France and his team a call today. Dial star 2020 from your mobile phone. Again, star 2020 from your mobile phone. Before the summer starts, get your LASIK today with Dr. France and his team. I did. It changed my life.
Friends, I care.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching. By the way, you can watch live as we will be at Oaks Farm Seed to Table on Friday. It's our first Friday of the month, so we're looking forward to that and seeing you there. 6 to 9 a.m. they'll be open. They open up an hour earlier so you can grab coffee and breakfast, hang out. Bring the kids, bring the family, bring the pets. No, don't bring the pets. Leave them home. But the kids, bring the kids, have some fun with us. It'll be a great day. We'll be celebrating 4th of July, absolutely, and the weekend and a holiday weekend. So it's going to be a great day. We're going to have a lot of fun. 6 to 9 a.m. as we go on the road. Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road. By the way, we did an informal poll earlier this morning, a yes or no poll. And what was the poll on again?
Yeah, it wasn't looking too hot.
Yeah, what was it?
No's.
What was it? Yes or no what?
If for me to go to see the table with you this Friday.
And it was no?
Bunch of no's, man. Nobody wants me there.
That's a lie.
All right, there was one no, and that was the one that stuck out. Tons of yeses, but there was one no.
Okay. So I asked you if you would text either yes or no. Would you like to see Jake the Millennial at Oaks Farm Seed to Table? Because people don't believe that you exist. They think that you're... like when you go to a drive-through and you think that the person that you're talking to at the drive-through window is on the other side of the glass, but they're actually in like Provo, Utah or something, taking your order and just sending it, that kind of thing where they've outsourced just about everything have you seen that yet at the drive-through where you're talking to somebody and you end up talking to this person and then you get to the window and that's not that you're what? You can tell it's not like they're someplace far away. It's not that you can tell, but that's what they do now.
Well, I've had it happen to me multiple times now is when I pull up and there's this pre-recorded thing like, hey, we'll take your order.
Right.
And then I say, all right, I'd like this. And they're like, no, I need you to wait.
I need you to wait? I get what you're saying. So you're saying when somebody says, they'll say, thank you for stopping by our fabulous restaurant. Give us your order, please. And you say, yeah, I would like to do it. And then somebody comes on and says, I'm not ready yet. Hold on a second. Wait a minute.
Yeah, but it's
you can
because
tell
the
it's
thing's
not.
pre-recorded, so they don't actually say it.
All right. That's where we're going. More and more. How many places have you been to lately? I can't believe how many places that I've been to where they've got self-serve now. Not drive-thrus, but cashiers. Self-service cashiers, right? Like everybody's doing it. More and more. I have yet. Is there one place? The only place that doesn't do it is Publix. Just about everybody else is doing it, right? Where you just go through yourself.
Pretty much.
I mean, Amazon's got one coming up, right? Isn't Amazon doing a grocery where, they do a GPS or some kind of tracker, and you walk in, you fill up your cart with everything you want, and you walk out, and you don't even visit a person at all. You don't pay. It just as soon as you walk out, they know what you've taken, and then ka-ching, and then everything rings up, and next thing you know, you get the bill on your Amazon Prime bill or something like that. You haven't heard about this?
Weird.
Yeah, no, it's the future, my friend. It's the future. You have to embrace it. You don't have a choice. Yeah, there's some. What were you going to say? Yes, you.
No, I don't want to get in trouble.
There's some more Amazon news out there. Amazon Studios has a diversity, equity, and inclusion team. Did you know that your school district has a diversity, equity, and inclusion team? But there's nothing to see here. There's nothing going on in your school. You don't have any critical race theory. You don't have diversion, equity, and inclusion teams that are doing anything that would go against your values or, your ideology. No. It's not even happening. Just because every single school district right now has it doesn't mean they're doing anything like you would imagine. No. So Amazon Studios does have one. They have a diversion, equity, and inclusion team. They released an inclusion playbook. It's kind of like when the diversion, equity, and inclusion teams at your school put out like an Equality Florida pamphlet or something like that, where they tell you exactly what is inclusive and what isn't, right? It does happen in schools. Well, now Amazon Studios has that. They've set the standards for the number of minority and underrepresented employees and characters required to create a movie or series. That's right. The policy requires that each film or series with a creative team of 3 or more people in above-the-line roles, that's directors, writers, and producers, should ideally include a minimum 30% women, 30% members of an underrepresented racial ethnic group, and they want to increase these goals to 50% by 2024. Amazon policy also aims to include one speaking character from the following categories, with half of them being women: LGBTQIA plus person with a disability, and 3 regionally underrepresented race, ethnic, cultural groups. According to the policy, a, quote, single character can fulfill one or more of these identities. And the ultimate goal here is that every production should build a talent pool and hire individuals with skill sets that enable them to execute on the story one time and within budget. This isn't about giving people a chance. It's about hiring the best and most qualified person for the job, taking into account both their work and lived experiences. So, Playbook insists that movies and series showcase LGBTQ plus and underrepresented romantic partners in stories. Directors must ask the following questions to ensure that movies and series are not stereotypical of the LGBTQ community. And that would be, are the characters solely defined by their sexual identities, or people with disabilities and infantilized or desexualized, or LGBTQ characters? I just can't do it anymore. I can't. So Amazon, in order to be inclusive, has their diversity, equity, and inclusion team that's got all kinds of rules for writing, humor, and satire. Because, with satire and stuff, we don't want to get too carried away because the days of, certain shows. I mean, how many times have you said to yourself, you couldn't do fill-in-the-blank show in 2021? Right? How many TV shows, how many movies? And I'm not even talking about movies from a long time ago. I'm talking just a couple of years ago. Certain movies you couldn't do. But all right, nothing to see here. So, if there's diversity, equity, inclusion teams in your school district, it's not that big a deal. They're not going too far. By the way, there is some news that we're going to dig into tomorrow that has to do with a story that many people are talking about. It's not exactly what it's been described as. There's a little more to the story, but it will be described in a certain way that there may be people here in Southwest Florida who are going to run with it and say, because the Supreme Court made this decision yesterday, that now we will be able to do things having to do with the diversity, inclusion, equity, Equality Florida. Former high school students' victory against a Virginia school board was solidified on Monday after the U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear an appeal in a long-running battle over bathroom sexes. The decision came in an unsigned order. Justices Thomas and Alito indicated they would have taken up the appeal. It didn't get taken up. And this had to do with the case of a transgender individual who wanted to use the bathroom of their choice in a high school. The high school offered a single-stall restroom as an alternative, so a remedy was there where people say, well, what are they supposed to do? Well, if the school made a remedy for the situation, then you would imagine that would be the end of that. But the student was having no part of it, and so ended up going to court, and now for the second time has won a victory in court, as they say, although there's more to the Supreme Court decision. The whole thing was they didn't take up the case. It's not that the case was won. It's just that they didn't hear it. And so there's a little bit more to this, and then tomorrow we'll get to it. I'm just bringing this up quickly because I know that ultimately there'll be people here in Southwest Florida who know that this issue has come up recently at a school board meeting and recently in the district that are going to make the case that, well, the Supreme Court settled it. Because you know that our founders said that if we can't figure out what to do, that the Supreme Court is the end-all, be-all decision-making. Once they make a decision, it is etched in stone. Let me tell you something, that Supreme Court, it's amazing how the founders did this. They had Congress go back and forth when it comes to laws and bills and the writing of laws and the passing of laws and the president signing off and the branches of government. But everybody knows that the most supreme, the primo of the branches of government is that judicial branch is the Supreme Court. And once they make a decision, it is etched in stone, said nobody ever who understands the constitutional republic that we have. That's not how it works. And in this case, it didn't even go that far as a decision was not made by the Supreme Court. Big difference between not hearing the case, not taking a case, and deciding a case. But we'll get into that more tomorrow because I don't want to hear anyone talking about, it's decided, Supreme Court has made the decision. Equality Florida, they were right all along. And that's not even like I'm not even trying to be funny. All right, so we'll get to that coming up tomorrow in more detail. Also coming up this morning, I wanted to get into what Jen Psaki said about the Olympian that turned her back on the anthem. You might ask yourself, what does the president of the United States believe about this? And does the president love the country or not? Hey, do you love the country if you don't believe in critical race theory? Yes, a weird. This was a very telling conversation. I don't want to say weird. It's a very telling conversation Jory Reid had with one of the biggest proponents of critical race theory. You could even say a critical race theorist. And some of the very telling, revealing answers that we'll play coming up in just a bit as well. And what else did I want to get to before we go to break? You know what? Yeah, I'll touch on this and then we'll get to Drew's College coming up next. Ron DeSantis signed a bill Thursday that reversed the state's proposed toll road expansion. I don't know if you heard about this, and we might get into more detail tomorrow on it. Shelving the MCOR project. A day after lawmakers formally sent the measure, SB 100, to his desk, scrapping the multi-use corridors of regional economic significance, that's MCOR. If you're here in Southwest Florida, you probably know a lot about MCOR, especially in Collier County, because the plan was for the Heartland Parkway to make its way from Polk County south to Collier County. It's going to undo plans now to extend the Florida Turnpike. The move to repeal the toll road initiative comes 2 years after the governor signed a bill exploring the concept into law, and 3 proposed toll roads were a priority of then Senate President Bill Galvano, but now that's changed, so they've shelved it. And I thought there was something to this. Obviously, there was pressure. Even Wilton Simpson wanted to scale it back, and environmental groups, some counties opposed it. Environmentalists probably put a lot of pressure on the governor and a lot of individuals in Tallahassee to scrap the Heartland Parkway. And I think it was one of those things where, just on the surface was a pretty important roadway, considering that we have something, what's that thing called, where we would have something that would come into the state where we would be concerned about the safety and security of Floridians. The hurricanes! Isn't it better to have more evacuation routes in the state than less? So that was a little bothersome. I mean, the fact that we could have had that and that roadway, people talk about the convenience of the roadway. I looked at it as a way to get people out. The issues that we have here in the state with the hurricanes and evacuation routes. And I don't know that more is worse. It would seem to be better, but yeah, we'll dive into that more this week. But I'm looking at the time. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're in a PhD. Hey, if you'd like to play, we'd love to have you join us right now. So why not? Call in number 5 at 239-479-5592. Let's see what you got. If you want to play right now, you'll win. You'll play. We'll have a good time and do our civics lesson for the day. It's Drew's College. 239-479-5592. Fifth caller will play next on Daybreak 92.5. Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Therese O'Shea.
Good Tuesday morning. Keeping an eye on a disabled vehicle causing slight delays on Daniels Parkway right near Fenway South Drive. That's right by JetBlue Park if you're heading out that direction through Gateway. Looking a little bit slower on Daniels, though, approaching Treeline Avenue heading westbound and closer to I-75. We're clear along the interstate itself, heading out on the Cape Coral Bridge. Everything running up to speed right now, east and westbound, but Midpoint Bridge very slow moving at this hour, eastbound out of Cape Coral through McGregor Boulevard, where crosses over and turns into Colonial in Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Another textbook summer afternoon on tap for us, hot, humid, with a chance for some scattered storms, capable of producing some heavy rain later on today. Look for a high near 90 degrees today with a low of 74 degrees for tonight. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, we've got my friend Dave Meister on the phone, of course, with the Floor Meisters, the family-owned Floor Meisters in Naples. And Dave, listen, I know you got a lot of things going on. You're selling a lot of cord tech. That's great, but you got this 8,000 square foot showroom with a selection of carpet that is absolutely unbelievable as well. And the prices right now are pretty amazing. So I hear you got this whole thing going on with Dreamweaver carpets.
Well, we have the Dreamweaver Select, which is this is $3.99 carpet pad and labor, but this has a lifetime warranty for pet stains, abrasive wear, and even for steps, a stair warranty. Nobody's ever had that before.
Listen, if you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, you really owe it to yourself to visit their store, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. Whether it's tile, laminate, hardwood, or, of course, carpet, they've got it all. So give them a call today, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Getting older has its advantages. Early bird dinners, senior discounts, day drinking. If you're one of the millions turning 65 soon, it might be time to take a look at your insurance options. Original Medicare, Medicare Advantage, so much to keep in mind. At Millennium Physician Group, half our patients are 65 plus. No matter what insurance benefits you choose, make sure your Millennium primary care doctor is part of your plan and your connection to a healthier life. Millennium Physician Group, connect today. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friends.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Valerie. Valerie's in beautiful Naples. How do I know? Because she just told Jake, and then Jake told me. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you are in a PhD. Are you ready for your associate's degree question?
Yes, I am, Drew.
All right, it starts right now. All right, can you tell me, Valerie, who was the 44th president of the United States, held office from 2009 to 2017?
That would be Barack Obama.
That is correct. All right, you got an associate's degree. We'll see if you get a bachelor's on this question. Where is it? The Speaker of the House right now. Do you know who the Speaker of the House right now is?
That would be Nancy Pelosi.
That is correct. All right, you got a bachelor's degree. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. Richard Nixon, Ulysses S. Grant, or Bill Clinton, who visited China as president for the first time?
That would be Richard Nixon.
No, it's actually Ulysses S. Grant, believe it or not, visited China as president. How about that? It was in 1879. It was 2 years there.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, well, actually, let me rephrase that. It was he was a president, but he wasn't in office when he did. So, Hey, can we accept that? Does that mean that does she get an approval for that? She does. Actually, you do, because I didn't clarify. You're right about Nixon visiting China, but Ulysses was the one, but he had left off. See, we got to be precise here. There are a lot of people that hold me accountable for what is and isn't.
And we skipped the master's degree question.
Yeah. All right. Well, we haven't got there yet. You got so far you got a master's. We're going to see if you get a PhD question. You ready?
Okay, gotcha.
All right. The two parts of the United States Congress. What are they?
That would be the Senate and the House of Representatives.
Ah, look at you! Congratulations, Valerie. You got yourself a PhD today on Drew's College. You corrected the host, which is something that not many people get the opportunity to do. So good for you.
Oh boy,
it's humbling, and it's something that we just hope and believe that a lot of people haven't paid much attention at this very moment. So if we have all of these factors, then everything is fine. My credibility is at stake.
Is this Friday Seed to Table?
It is. It is Oaks Farm Seed.
I want to go there.
Well, I would love to see you there. So I hope you'll be there. 6 to 9 a.m. We're there. They open an hour early, so grab some coffee and bring friends.
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, I'm glad we confirmed that. Thanks, Valerie. Thanks for playing, and we'll see you on Friday. Oaks Farm Seed to Table.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
I wish people would learn to come in sooner. Unfortunately, by the time they come in our stores, they're almost desperate. They've been struggling trying to find a solution for their problem. They're looking with hope in their eyes. You've got to be able to help me.
You're listening to Beth, an arch support specialist at the Good Feet store.
A construction guy comes in and told me, I'm afraid I'm going to get fired. My feet hurt so bad, I can't do what I need to do at work. You gotta help me. It's unbelievable how quickly the product changes some things for some people.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
When you're able to help them work more efficiently, more comfortably, and they're back and doing things that they've been wanting to do, things that they've missed. I go home every day proud of what I've done.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
Everyone understands that when you buy more, you should pay less. It's called a volume discount. Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window, and we would like to make and install your windows. New South offers volume discounts for homeowners. The more you buy, the more you save. Our discounts start at the fourth window, and from there, the savings grow. New South can do this because we own our factory, and that's the power of Factory Direct. Award-winning, energy-efficient windows that will save you money and protect your home. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, and we guarantee them for life. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
It's the fallout from the fall. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
At every building, everybody's got to take this seriously and say to themselves, okay, what inspections do we need? If we need to spend the money, we've got to spend the money now.
Republican Florida Senator Rick Scott has crews search that partially collapsed Surfside condo building a sixth day. Fox's Evan Brown monitoring live from Broward County.
Yeah, Dave, 11 victims located, 150 people still unaccounted for, but now a number of people who got out of the Champlain condominium towers in Surfside are talking.
I was sleeping and I heard the loudest thunderclap I ever heard in my life, times 100.
Steve Rosenthal's unit wasn't in the collapse section, but he knew he had to get out.
All I saw was cement, rubble, wood. People yelling, help me, praying that the building didn't fall on me, collapse on me.
He had to climb down a fire truck ladder to get out, Dave.
COVID cases have declined lately in the U.S. Many restrictions lifted and vaccinated Americans have been unmasked. But in California,
Los Angeles County health officials are urging everyone, even the fully vaccinated, to wear a mask at indoor public places. They're concerned about the global surge in the highly contagious Delta variant of COVID-19.
That's Fox's Carbon Roberts. No Americans were hurt, but U.S. forces in Syria came under fire after airstrikes in Iraq and Syria targeting Iran-backed militants. President Biden vows
Iran will never get a nuclear weapon on my watch.
Though he is attempting to rejoin the international nuclear deal President Trump pulled the U.S. out of today, the president goes to Wisconsin, reiterating his support for an infrastructure deal after he had upset a bipartisan group of senators threatening last week to veto a plan he and they just agreed to unless it's tied to only spending Democrats' support.
I'm not sure I've ever seen someone double-cross his negotiating partners in a span of just 2 hours.
Republican Senator Tom Cotton. America's listening to Fox News.
Good Tuesday morning. Keeping an eye on a disabled vehicle causing slight delays on Daniels Parkway right near Fenway South Drive. That's right by JetBlue Park if you're heading out that direction through Gateway. Looking a little bit slower on Daniels, though, approaching Treeline Avenue, heading westbound and closer to I-75. We're clear along the interstate itself, heading out on the Cape Coral Bridge. Everything running up to speed right now, east and westbound, but Midpoint Bridge very slow moving at this hour, eastbound out of Cape Coral through McGregor Boulevard, where it crosses over and turns into Colonial in Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Tuesday, Southwest Florida. We'll look forward to another typical June afternoon. Temperatures warming to near 90 degrees. It'll be hot and humid and feature a chance for some scattered thunderstorms as we head into especially after lunchtime, which could be packing some heavy rain along with lightning and maybe even some isolated gustier winds. Isolated areas of rain possible as we head into the overnight time frame before we start to see those scattered thunderstorm chances ramp up again for tomorrow afternoon in a high of 89 degrees for your Wednesday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
From smartphones and TVs to desktops, laptops, and tablets.
Every audio device in this hemisphere.
All you have to do is tell your smart device to play 92.5 Fox News.
You've been lied to. Lied to by corrupt Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine. Hi, I'm Inc. magazine best-selling author Brett Kitchen, and I want to give you a free copy of my brand new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, because we all know another market crash could be right around the corner. After losing 35% in my IRA in the crash years ago, I said enough, and since then I discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Wealth Beyond Wall Street now to get your free copy and talk with a specialist to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits, all while building a tax-advantaged retirement. Call 1-800-346-9797 to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and JCPenney use to grow wealthy. Plus, get one of just 97 free books left. We even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call 1-800-346-9797. That's 1-800-346-9797, 1-800-346-9797.
Inside the train testing facility, our heating and cooling products go through endless torture tests to ensure they can run through anything. And when we say torture, we don't take that lightly. We drop them, slam them against the wall, shake them, and then expect them to run without an extra decibel in our anechoic sound chamber. Without fail. Drop, slam, shake, silence. Drop, slam, shake, silence. And there's no end in sight. We test, so it runs.
Things are heating up, and you may notice that old AC system just isn't keeping up like it used to. It's time for you to get the Purified experience. Visit purifiedac.com to get special financing on a new system installation. Subject to credit approval, see dealer for details. Purified Air also offers free estimates and 24/7 emergency service so you can have the Purified experience when you need it the most. Visit purifiedac.com to get the Purified experience for yourself. That's purifiedac.com, license number CAC 1817070.
It's hard to stop a train.
When was the last time you checked in on your insurance? Give CIG a chance to review your current coverage and find you better rates. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. My team and I are dedicated to finding you the best suited coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Qualified agents are standing by. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Jason and Todd want to light up your 4th of July weekend and celebrate big this year by offering you 5 years interest-free financing July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. The Diamond District is offering you 5 years interest-free financing on the largest selection of GIA loose certified diamonds and diamond jewelry.
from 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida, Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. The talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. That's the website. Steele has 3 E's. Anytime you want to watch the program, we do appreciate it. Well, there's a lot of post-COVID wake-up calls that have been happening when it comes to the Biden administration and the agenda that he has and the confusion that many people have when it comes to some of the things that they are doing, especially when you consider that you look at what's going on with UI and unemployment benefits and the states that seem to be moving away from that and saying, yeah, we're not going to wait, we're out because we need to get people back to work. They seem to be having a lot of success. And the Biden administration, maybe not so much as far as them or Democrat-led states and what they believe about some of those issues and some other things that are going on. And I am so happy to have the opportunity once again to speak with Phil Kerpen, who's joining us right now on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. He has been on the program before, president of American Commitment, and I wanted to talk about these issues and so many more. So it's great to have him on. It's Drew Steele. How are you, sir?
I'm great, Drew. How are you?
Good to have you back. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. By the way, before we get going, as a Mets fan, I just wanted to say this very, very quickly because I need your update on this. You're the only person I get to talk to about this. I have nobody around me who's a Mets fan. So I'm worried about the season because I feel like the Mets right now are, and I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. And as a family who's been used to racing horses, as growing up, a family who has horses in New Jersey and raced often at different places, or even as a fan of Mike Tyson back in the day in the 80s, maybe you make the reference that at a horse track, you always know that you have a championship horse and there's obviously other horses that are racing, and some will get out really fast and you'll get around the quarter pole and you'll get past that and you'll be looking and you'll say, don't worry, he's not going to win. And next thing you know, it's like he doesn't win. It gets overtaken by the horse that's the champion, or even Mike Tyson. Before you get into the ring, it's like, hey, he's hanging in there. He's 2 minutes into the round and it's looking pretty good, and he ends up getting knocked out. I'm kind of worried like with the Mets that way. Like it's just the knockout's just around the corner, you know?
I was at the game last night with my daughter, and, it's very bizarre managing from Rojas, pinch hitting for Guillorme, who already had 2 hits, for Conforto, who hasn't really hit since he's been back, and he could have used him for the pitcher spot 2 spots away, and it was just one of these really bizarre over-managing, and, obviously they lost the game, and because they didn't have a third baseman after that.
Yeah.
Because they'd already used Peraza, and it's like, sometimes you get angry. I mean, they was like a manager brain cramp, basically. And I think this team, they've just had so many injuries, and they somehow found a way to win all these games with these sort of nobodies, mostly because the starting pitching was there, and now we got injuries in the rotation. And, the guys are coming back, but, they weren't hitting even when they were healthy. And so, if they don't hit, it doesn't. You could say, "Oh, it's a bad division." They'll be well. If you don't hit, you're not gonna win the division. So, look, on paper, this is a team that should hit, and they got a lot of great talent, and it's a pretty good looking lineup, and they're just not doing it. So, look, the glass half empty is what you said. Look, the rest of the division is coming back to them, and they're sort of they're not clicking, and this is not going to last. But the glass half full is some of these guys are going to get hot at some point, and we haven't had any real offensive rhythm yet at all with this team, and yet they're still up 3 games. And if it sort of things start to click, they could be off to the races. So we'll see. I don't know. It's been a weird year because it's been a lot of fun at times, but they haven't really opened up the distance they should have in a mediocre division.
Yeah. And speaking of things that are on paper or glass half full, I'm not sure if you can relate that to the Biden administration at all. It's like just trying to figure out where on paper, it's everything we imagine and then some, as far as some of the policy.
I think it's much more left wing than I would have expected.
Yeah.
This was supposedly the moderate centrist alternative to Bernie Sanders, but I mean, show me one thing Bernie Sanders would be doing differently if he were president right now. It's pretty hard because they're just going hard hard left on every single issue. And, they're spending trillions and trillions of dollars. You mentioned just the insane welfare benefits, the return of cash welfare, and all these various different programs makes it pay more not to work than to work, especially in the half of the states that are still paying the unemployment bonuses, the extra $300 on top of state benefits every single week. You've got all of the anti-energy policies that make it more difficult to produce energy, to transport energy, and we've got, gas prices are up 56% over the past year. Everyone's seeing that. You've got, in general, just everything's pushing in the direction of higher prices. You've got all of the pro-union policies. You've got kind of, the return of all of the pro-regulation, micromanaging of the economy that, Trump made so much progress in rolling back. And you just look at everything they're doing, and there's left-wing as you could possibly be. And then you had this bizarre spectacle over the last week where the president, cut this deal with Senate Republicans to do a huge transportation infrastructure bill. And then he said, I'm not going to sign the bill I myself just negotiated. I'm going to veto it unless every other left-wing thing I want is in an accompanying bill. And then he walked that back a few days later, and he's like, I don't know why anyone thought I was undermining my own deal when I said I would veto it. And it's like, guy, I mean, I think some very left-wing people, staffers, are really running the show. It's not Joe himself is mostly along for the ride at this point.
So what's it going to take? I guess we already know what's baked in, and we already know what's there, and everybody's already planted their flag. In other words, we already know that there are plenty of examples that we have of how there are individuals that do not want to get rid of the COVID power that they've been given, that they're just not going to hand it over. As you've described in your op-ed there, a post-COVID wake-up call to stop Biden's bankrupt agenda. And in the American Spectator, I believe it was, and you mentioned this. It's the idea that we've already been over this for months, but you're still obsessing. There are people still obsessing over it, and that power is not going to be given up. Even just the top of the news, I was hearing about how in California they're talking about masking up even the unvaccinated, the vaccinated, and everybody's got to put masks back. We're doing this again. By
the way, California does antibody testing on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And their latest, which was, I think it's like 3 or 4 weeks ago, their latest, they said they had 85.9% of their population had detectable antibodies.
Wow.
And they're talking about putting restrictions.
So who's following the science?
Think about how insane that is. I mean,
right.
I saw there was a Gallup poll that came out yesterday that said 96% of Democrats think we're still in a pandemic. So, I mean, I don't know. How do you even communicate with people who think that? I mean, it's a very bizarre situation that we're in, where you have this just massive partisan divide, not just on policy, but on basic perception of reality,
right?
Of what exists in the country. And the politicians, therefore, in liberal areas, they can keep this stuff going more or less indefinitely as long as public perception is that way. And I think that the Biden administration has really taken advantage of sort of this lingering obsession, particularly among the media, to push this whole left-wing agenda without a fraction of the scrutiny it would normally have. And by the way, I don't think the rising prices that we've got in this country, and we're on an annualized basis, producer prices, wholesale prices are already rising at a double-digit rate. And consumer prices are not far behind. They're rising at about a 9% annual rate. They're going to be in double digits soon. Imagine, if a couple of years ago I told you, hey, we're going to have double-digit inflation. It's not going to lead on the news. It's not going to be the main story anywhere. They're going to, obsess about a virus instead. It's a very strange situation from from sort of a media cycle situation that even allows, how could they contemplate additional trillions of dollars in spending when we're on the edge of going into double digits on inflation?
Right.
It's crazy.
And the point also of the narrative that's out there, we're being told that inflation is transitory. That's all it is. It's just a moment. It's a blip. The problem, right. And that's such a lie. It's not a blip. And
if it's transitory, if it's rising faster on wholesale prices than it is on consumer prices, then even if it's transitory, it's going to get worse before it gets better,
right,
on the retail side. So, I'm sort of skeptical on how it ends up being transitory when you've got all these policies, especially the energy policies, that are designed to drive up costs, because remember, they want us using much less fossil energy. That's one of their main policy priorities. So it's not really an administration that looks at $3.50, $4 gasoline and says, oh my God, we got to find a way to bring it down. I mean, their policy imperative is great, let's go for $5. They're trying to get us to switch to electric cars.
Yeah, right. And I think that's such an important point to remember is, what is it? Where is the policy that's out there from this administration that would lead you to believe that they're looking at this as a problem and doing something to bring costs down, to do anything other than to use it? You hate to use the expression, but it's true, as some have said, the not letting a crisis go to waste. And as a matter of fact, maybe building that crisis wherever it lies, to push an agenda. It just feels like that's what all of this seems to end up being.
Yeah, look, I think that, it's interesting because the only thing that could really, I think, kind of bail the Democrats and the Biden administration out on economics is for the Republicans to actually stop the rest of their agenda. So, if they're successful politically in terms of passing the bills they want and another, 3, 4, 5 trillion in spending, everyone's going to notice inflation by election day next year. It's going to be really rampant. It's sort of one of these things where, if Republicans succeed in actually stopping most of this stuff and sort of having the Biden agenda be dead on arrival, that could actually help Democrats by election day because people aren't going to feel as much pain. So it's one of those things where, if you do the right thing for your constituents and protect them, you might be punished instead of rewarded for it. But obviously, you got to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Economically, if you can, first and foremost, then figure out how to get credit for it. But it's an interesting situation because every single thing in the Democratic agenda points in the direction of higher prices.
Yeah. And that's another interesting point as we get into this election cycle, which we're, obviously 22 here in Florida, we're already in it. Governor DeSantis is already in. They're already in, as some have said, DDS mode, DeSantis derangement syndrome. Some of the things that they're doing, going after the governor in ridiculous ways, and some of the things that the Washington Post has put out, the lies about, the tragedy that's taking place right now in Surfside, and the governor not showing up and not allowing for FEMA to come in and funds to come in from the federal government. It's the most outrageous comments being made about the governor. But how, if you do fix things, if you do make things better right now, at this moment in time, you'd hate to believe that politically people would be sitting back and not want something to take place because it doesn't help them politically moving forward. If you do it too early, then the media has time to spin out of it and to make it look like it's a victory for somebody else, and you can't use it to your benefit, which is something that nobody wants to believe. It's an awful thing to think about, but I wonder how much of that is playing out in Washington.
Yeah, look, there's some of that. And by the way, the Florida governor's race is going to be, again, a race with a lot of national interest, maybe even more than usual, with the potential that, if DeSantis is reelected, he becomes a potential presidential candidate as well. And so, of course, they're going to go all out against him. But, I don't see much of it sticking, to be honest. I think he's handled himself very effectively with the media. And, look, the way I think about this, the media really are the leaders of the Democratic Party. The politicians are the followers. And they're all sort of part and parcel of the same team with the same agenda. And, they're going to do everything they can to, misallocate credit and blame to benefit their side. But, you see these vast partisan divides on every issue, which to me says that, Republicans and independents really discount everything they see in the media at this point. So the game is up a little bit in that regard.
Yeah. And, the other thing, too, is as we look at some of the issues of what is the Biden administration and the things that we're concerned about, whether it's something that's being avoided or we're not tackling like the issues of inflation or even taxes, and the issue of where we're going with these specific capital gains rate, things that we don't talk about enough. I wonder how it is that you can make the case for Democrats right now that whether it's the issues of critical race theory or the issues of taxes or the issues of inflation or the issues that we hear more and more about, how much of this too is a media that is willing to help with gaslighting certain issues, where you can see blatantly when Jen Psaki is there talking about it's the Republicans' fault, defunding the police is all on Republicans because of
Right, good luck with that.
but there's half the country that will believe that at least. Well, at least there are some.
Less than half, I think. I mean, it's like 40.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, the Democrats will believe anything they're told, and
Right.
and they've really moved even further left than they were before, and they've been sort of hardened into place. But I think for Republicans to win elections and to win sort of these issue fights, they need to get pretty large majorities among the independents. But I think that's largely happening on a lot of this stuff, and particularly just the refusal to admit that the pandemic's over and the media obsession with it. Even after everyone who wants it has a vaccine, it's like, all right, great, move on. And they're like, obsessed with these numbers, and they don't want to talk about or report on anything else. And, I think that, I just think that people are done with it. And your point about the capital gains tax, there's 30 tax hikes in the Biden budget, 30 tax hikes.
Yeah.
And one of them is this insane, they want to double the capital gains rate, which they got some attention. But the other aspect of it that's got almost none is they also want to make death a realization event for capital gains purposes, which is to say they want to add a second death tax. You still have the estate tax, but now you have a capital gains tax at death. And unlike the estate tax, which we were able to get the exemption all the way up to $10 million, by the way, Democrats fought us every step of the way when we increased that over the years. They only want a $1 million exemption. So you can imagine how many businesses have assets on paper that are worth more than $1 million, and the capital gains basis is almost nothing because they've been held for decades, and it could be land or equipment or machinery or whatever it is. Now someone dies, you got to sell the business or sell off a whole bunch of equipment or land or whatever it is to pay that tax. And then, if you are a big enough company to be over the $10 million, now you have a double tax at death. You have the capital gains death tax and the estate tax. That is such a horrible policy. I mean, how do you defend that? I mean, where'd that even come from other than just extreme left-wing ideology?
Right. To what end? Right, Phil? I mean, to what end? Like, what do you have to gain by this? Who benefits from this ultimately? Where does the revenue come from? Where did these businesses go? What do they end up doing? How do we get out of?
Well, who benefits is big business because like so many of their policies, they really hammer small business.
Yep.
Big businesses are, they're all corporate, so they're not affected by it really. And, it's,
right.
They end up being sold to a big guy essentially, and or they're liquidated. And I think, to such a large extent over the last few years, big business have become sort of the enforcers of, sort of the woke left and political correctness and kind of this whole new orthodoxy. And big business and the Democrats are extremely cozy, and everything that's happened over the last year and a half has massively harmed small business and differentially benefited big business, and I think that's kind of the battle line right now. And I've got nothing against big businesses as long as they're not being political.
Right.
But I think that's the effect of it, if not the intent.
Yeah. All right, Phil Kerpen, I appreciate a few minutes of your time, president of American Commitment, and always great to have you on, and hopefully we can do this again soon. I appreciate your insight. All the best.
Right. Sounds good.
All right, we'll see you. There he goes. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Summer is here, and Conditioned Air wants to introduce you to our new Easy Comfort solution, the coolest way to get your new AC. Now you can get a new AC unit for one low monthly payment and no down payment. Best of all, annual tune-ups, a smart thermostat, air filters, and repairs due to normal wear and tear are all included. Call Conditioned Air today, the comfort people since 1962. 1-888-COLD-AIR or online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
With the value of the U.S. dollar continuing to slump due to unprecedented money printing, it has never been more important to protect your savings and retirement accounts from inflation. Many hardworking Americans, just like you and I, are turning to a proven method to protect what we work so hard to earn, real gold. You can have real gold delivered privately and securely to your home, or have real gold put into your IRA or 401k. Just call Oxford Gold Group right now, 833-928-GOLD. The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you want to know about owning real gold. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group now at 833-928-GOLD to get your free precious metals investment guide. Talk to them about getting real gold and silver delivered to your home, or about having real gold placed in your IRA or 401k. The Oxford Gold Group is here to help you protect your savings and retirement from the unknown. Call them now, 833-928-GOLD. So, what are you waiting for? 833-928-GOLD. Get your gold you can hold from the Oxford Gold Group, 833-928-GOLD.
Summer real deals are here.
We're bringing back good times and great food.
Mel's is taking the heat off rising prices by bringing you cool summer real deals. Monday, every selection on the Golden Oldies menu is $10. We're talking Mel's famous meatloaf, chicken tenders, hot roast, and more, including sides. Just $10 with beverage purchase. Wednesday, Mel's award-winning fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs, served with coleslaw, super salad. It's a summer real deal at just $12.99. Thursday, enjoy a half-pound prepared-to-order Braveheart Black Angus cheeseburger with fries and slaw, plus a domestic draft, $9.99. And how about this? A summer real deal Friday and Saturday date night, featuring Mel's fresh roasted USDA choice prime rib, together with a glass of wine, just $15.99. Now that's a winning summer real deal. Summer real deals are happening now at Mel's Diner.
Who will help you get there? You've spent years working, taking care of your kids, saving money, and now you're nearing retirement. Or maybe you're already retired. Now it's your turn. You get to decide where to go next. Will your retirement include travel? Do you have a guide to help you get there? Bob Grace has helped hundreds of families create their retirement roadmap. Don't let financial limitations take you off course in retirement. Bob wants you to have the retirement you've worked so hard for. Come in and meet with Bob and his team. They'll help you create a retirement roadmap that's tailored to your lifestyle and long-term financial goals. Call today at 239-249-8888 and schedule a visit. 239-249-8888 or visit retirewithgrace.com. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and get ready because it's time once again. This Friday, Oaks Farm Seed to Table, we do our first Friday live broadcast, and we love being out there and love seeing you there for the show, 6 to 9 a.m. They open up an hour earlier so that you can come in and enjoy some great breakfast and so much more. Maybe do some shopping while you're there as well. And you know how awesome Seed to Table is and what a great place it is to shop. We hope to see you there. Oaks Farm Seed to Table, our first Friday broadcast, 6 to 9 a.m. at the corner of Immokalee and Livingston Road in Naples. Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hoagland with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high rate credit cards, car loans, or other high interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
Are you looking to have built or repaired a shingle, metal, or tile roof? Do you want to hire a company where the owner personally inspects your job and every job? Hello, I'm Jimmy Williamson of WB Williamson Brothers Roofing. If the answer is yes,
844-WB-BUILT.
WB Williamson Brothers Roofing represents the fourth generation of a tradition that began with my grandfather back in 1967. And it's a tradition of building something that you can be proud to put your name on. If you need a quote for the construction or repair of a shingle, metal, or tile roof, call me, Jimmy. 844-WB-BUILT. Or visit us at 2944 South Street in Fort Myers. Williamson Brothers Roofing also specializes in stand and seam metal roofs and commercial flat roofs. Satisfied clients include Florida Gulf Coast University and Pensacola State College. Call Williamson Brothers Roofing at 844-WB-BUILT. That's 844-WB-BUILT. That's 844-WB-BUILT.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Tuesday morning. Keeping an eye on a disabled vehicle causing slight delays on Daniels Parkway right near Fenway South Drive. That's right by JetBlue Park if you're heading out that direction through Gateway. Looking a little bit slower on Daniels, though, approaching Treeline Avenue heading westbound and closer to I-75. We're clear along the interstate itself, heading out on the Cape Coral Bridge. Everything running up to speed right now, east and westbound, but Midpoint Bridge very slow moving at this hour, eastbound out of Cape Coral through McGregor Boulevard, where it crosses over and turns into Colonial in Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Tuesday, Southwest Florida. We'll look forward to another typical June afternoon. Temperatures warming to near 90 degrees. It'll be hot and humid and feature a chance for some scattered thunderstorms as we head into especially after lunchtime, which could be packing some heavy rain along with lightning and maybe even some isolated gustier winds. Isolated areas of rain possible as we head into the overnight time frame before we start to see those scattered thunderstorm chances ramp up again for tomorrow afternoon and a high of 89 degrees for your Wednesday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
I won't give up the ship.
Talking about what matters.
This country is too great to throw over to communism. I love it.
92.5 Fox News.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomato's Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Stevie Tomatoes, Sports Page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America. NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
Inside the train testing facility, our heating and cooling products go through endless torture tests to ensure they can run through anything. And when we say torture, we don't take that lightly. We drop them, slam them against the wall, shake them, and then expect them to run without an extra decibel in our anechoic sound chamber. Without fail. Drop, slam, shake, silence. Drop, slam, shake, silence. And there's no end in sight. We test, so it runs.
Things are heating up, and you may notice that old AC system just isn't keeping up like it used to. It's time for you to get the Purified experience. Visit purifiedac.com to get special financing on a new system installation. Subject to credit approval, see dealer for details. Purified Air also offers free estimates and 24/7 emergency service so you can have the Purified experience when you need it the most. Visit purifiedac.com to get the Purified experience for yourself. That's purifiedac.com, license number CAC 1817070.
It's hard to stop a train.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Gary, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection. License number CCC 1326213.
Getting older has its advantages. Early bird dinners, senior discounts, day drinking. If you're one of the millions turning 65 soon, it might be time to take a look at your insurance options. Original Medicare, Medicare Advantage, so much to keep in mind. At Millennium Physician Group, half our patients are 65 plus. No matter what insurance benefits you choose, make sure your Millennium primary care doctor is part of your plan and your connection to a healthier life. Millennium Physician Group. Connect today. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
When it's hot, the last thing you want is your home's AC to quit on you. At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our team of comfort specialists take the frustration out of the equation. From simple repairs to more complex fixes, we'll get you cool and comfortable quickly. Call 855-1-HOUR for $50 off your repair or visit onehourair.com and keep your cool. Beer.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Terms and conditions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in their respective state or county.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. Thank you for watching. Top 5 audio clips of the day. Here you go. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
Something one of the advisors said this weekend, Cedric Richmond, he said, Republicans defunded the police by not supporting the American Rescue Plan. But how is it that that is an argument to be made when the president never mentioned needing money for police to stop a crime wave when he was selling the American Rescue Plan?
Well, the president did mention that the American Rescue Plan, the state and local funding, something that was supported by the president, a lot of Democrats who supported and voted for the bill, could help ensure local cops were kept on the beat in communities across the country. As you know, didn't receive a single Republican vote. That funding has been used to keep cops on the beat.
Wait, okay. So Jen Psaki yesterday, when asked about, hey, there are people that are talking about it's the Republicans' fault of defunding the police because if departments had the money and city councils in different places had the money, it would definitely go towards police departments, even though even in the city of Oakland in California, where there has been an unbelievable rise in crime, and the police chief there said, why in the world would you defund us? Here on the heels of this statement, they had the money. They could have even left the budget alone, but no, millions of dollars taken away. The suggestion that if the money were there, it would absolutely be used to fund police departments. That's the new narrative now. It's Republicans that are really the ones that don't want to defund the police. Is this really gonna? You can't be serious. Yeah, it's the Biden administration. Yeah, you can't be. Yeah.
Number 4.
We still have bringing large numbers of people together. It can present some risk. We'll continue to look at that, but I think the other purpose of the injunction is to prevent groups that are spreading deliberately spreading false information that can actually create risk. The information itself.
Okay. Anyway, that is in Nova Scotia. Meanwhile, in places like Canada, or Canada as it's known, Nova Scotia, there specifically, there you go. Canadian government officials sitting down when people are asking about the COVID and public gatherings. And what about public gatherings and not allowing that to happen? An injunction over the preventing of people getting together in large numbers. And there's the Canadian government saying, there could be some risk with people getting together with the vid and everything else. But it also has another purpose to prevent groups getting together to supposedly spread false information. Groups getting together to spread false information. Freedom of assembly denied to people in Canada because they don't want the spreading of false information. Does that sound a little worrisome to some people? Hey, if you live in Canada, hey, you worried about that?
Number 3. Look, the bottom line is with unidentified aerial phenomenon, many cases, Dan, we're able to explain it away for reasons like visual disturbances or weather phenomenon or foreign adversaries and their technologies, or even our own experimental technologies with certain aircraft and vehicles. But what this report really underscores, Dan, is that that there are a number of instances, and the specific number remains classified, but a number of instances where we've ruled all of that out. And there are technologies that we don't have, and frankly, that we're not capable of defending against based on those things that we've seen, multiple sensors. In other words, where not just people visually see it, but where it's picked up on radar, where it's seen on satellites. And so, it's an issue of national security.
That's on Dan Bongino's Unfiltered program on Fox News on Saturday. And that's the former director of national intelligence, John Radcliffe, about UFO reports and technologies that we don't have and frankly that we're not capable of defending against. That sounded, I really wasn't ready for that type of answer. It's the whole UFO thing. Moving on.
Number 2.
But it's not just political protesters the government is spying on. Yesterday, we heard from a whistleblower within the U.S. government who reached out to warn us that the NSA, the National Security Agency, is monitoring our electronic communications and is planning to leak them in an attempt to take the show off the air. Now, that's a shocking claim, and ordinarily we'd be skeptical of it. It's illegal for the NSA to spy on American citizens. It's a crime. It's not a third world country. Things like that should not happen in America. But unfortunately, they do happen, and in this case, they did happen.
We should know more about this, right? Supposedly, there's Tucker Carlson last night, the highest-rated program on cable news, a shocking segment where he's saying a whistleblower revealed that the NSA is monitoring their electronic communications, planning to leak them in an attempt to take the show off the air. Is that true? Is the deep state getting statier and deepier? And that's not really proper English. But when you give the government certain powers where they say, it'll never go too far, it seems like is it going too far?
Number 1.
People across the country and people who care deeply about addressing our climate crisis know the components of what's in this package, which the president considers a down payment, not the end, a down payment. So 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations nationwide. That's what this would help support, with a focus on our highways and rural and disadvantaged communities. It would help buy more than 35,000 electric school buses.
Wait. What? Wait, hold on a second. That was Jen Psaki from yesterday talking about the American Rescue Plan there, and one that's very important to the president. And the reason why it's important is because we need to have 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations. They're needed in, quote, rural and disadvantaged communities. Are disadvantaged communities around the country saying, listen, we would be just fine if we just had an electric charge. Hey, can we get an electric vehicle charging station? We need a couple of them. That's what they need in some of the... What?
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Nothing to see here. That's exactly what's needed. That's certainly what we need to be spending money. What? That's what she said. 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations are needed for rural and disadvantaged communities. Is that what they're asking for? I'm not sure I agree with that or believe that in any way, shape, or form. 239-479-5592. Some of the other things that I'm not sure I believe, or maybe I do believe. How does the president feel about Gwen Berry, the Olympian who decided that she was going to turn her back on the national anthem and the flag, someone who's competing to represent the country in the Olympics? What does the president think about this? What did she say yesterday?
This weekend, Gwen Berry, who hopes to represent the United States as an Olympian on the hammer throwing events, won a bronze medal at the trials, and then she turned her back on the flag while the anthem played. Does President Biden think that is appropriate behavior for someone who hopes to represent Team USA?
Well, Peter, I haven't spoken to the president specifically about this, but I know he's incredibly proud to be an American.
So he's proud to be an American.
And
Yeah.
has great respect for the anthem and all that it represents, especially for our men and women serving in uniform all around the world.
Okay, so far we haven't answered the question, yeah?
He would also say, of course, that part of that pride in our country means recognizing there are moments where we are, as a country, haven't lived up to our highest ideals. And it means respecting the right of people granted to them in the Constitution to peacefully protest.
I'm just wondering, the only takeaway that I have from that comment is there ever a moment in time when this White House, Democrats, the media, can you all comment on some of the good things about this country? Is there one single solitary thing that you can focus on and talk about how great a country we are? Any of the positives? Is there anything at all? It always seems like it's quite the opposite, especially when you listen to the last part of what Jen Psaki was saying, right? She says...
He would also say, of course, that part of that pride in our country means recognizing there are moments where we are, as a country, haven't lived up to our highest ideals.
It's part of the pride in the country is recognizing we haven't lived up to it. That's pride in the country is recognizing that we haven't lived up to ideals. That's...
He would also say...
I can't do it. Okay. You just wonder. Anything at all? Any positives at all? Is that too much to ask? Seems like it is. Constantly. You're just waiting for it. Love to hear just a little bit. And I also wonder specifically what the president thinks about when we are talking more and more lately about what our kids are being taught in schools, critical race theory, this idea of social justice and equity and all the terms that have been out there and the cancel culture and, the Marxist ideology that is behind critical race theory. It's just a fact. You just have to go back through the individuals in the 60s and 70s who brought this radical idea up in academia where people were looking at it and going, that's a little crazy, until you have it permeate through the brains of the people that are showing up at different schools and then going out to their communities and deciding to talk more and more about it. And then somebody says, hey, we can make a political movement out of this, and end up doing it. And next thing you know it, they're pushing this agenda. But what about that? And what about even what is happening still with our school boards and districts? I don't know if you heard this. Was this from last week? This individual who showed up at a school board meeting, Simon Campbell, in Pennsbury in Pennsylvania. An Englishman who decided to teach the school board about our Constitution. That's what it takes right now. This school district in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And you definitely have a leftist-leaning school board here, and some of the parents realize this. And they wanted to bring in a diversity program, as many districts have. Diversity inclusion programs. By the way, check your local school board. See if we've got them. Well, in this community, they wanted to bring a diversity program in, but they didn't want any community objections to show up in recordings at public meetings. So they censored it. They censored out those who had objections to it, so that when people went on to a YouTube page or went to go visit the district's video of the school board meetings, all they heard were positive things. They didn't get a chance to hear anything negative. So one man stands up and says, I don't know if you can do this. And not only that, some of your objections to the things that we say isn't constitutional either. And I want you to listen to this, because there are people now that will say or feel like that critical race theory was yesterday's story and it's starting to fade away. And There are leftists in this area in Southwest Florida that are in our school districts, that are on school boards, that are principals at schools, and we're going to get an update on some of that coming up tomorrow with Brendan Leslie when he joins us, and some of the things that are happening here in Southwest Florida, and you will be told, just sit it out, just it's going to calm down, it's going to go away because the fight isn't there. It's just going to go by the wayside, and don't you worry, just hang in there, and everything will be just fine. And you'll still be able to teach the racism in schools, and you'll still be able to teach about social justice and equity and all the talking points that are the Marxist ideologies of critical race theory, and you'll continue to do that. And oh yeah, it is. But this parent wasn't having it. And as a matter of fact, was calling people out. And I want you to listen to this, because if you've ever been to a school board meeting and told you need to sit down and shut up, check this out. Because this parent was like, you're not going to edit all these videos. You're not going to take the bits out that are going to make it look like everybody agrees with you. We're not having this.
You snowflakes apparently have a bigger problem with public comment. It seems to me that you think you can supersede the United States Constitution. Well, I've got news for you, School Board President Benito Mussolini. Your power does not supersede that of the U.S. Constitution and the First Amendment rights of the citizens of this great nation.
Now let me just stop. Wait, let me stop there. Because after saying that, the school board member didn't like that. And listen to what happens.
Of the U.S. Constitution and the First Amendment rights of the citizens of this great nation. Let's be very, very clear who has the power.
Mr.
It is
Campbell,
not government policy. Do not warn me or do not interrupt my time.
That if you
interrupt my
make
time,
personal insults like that again, or if you personally direct your comments, you will be asked to step away from the podium.
I'm going to quote to you,
solicitor. Make your comments, but do not do name calling like you just.
Okay, so he didn't like that he was calling him names. And if you're going to call names, we're going to have you escorted out. And he was like, whoa, wait a minute. Everybody who goes to school board meetings in the future and they don't like the way they're being talked to, hold on a second. He had something to say about that. Listen to this.
I'm quoting to you now from the United States Supreme Court 1964 case, New York Times versus Sullivan. This is constitutional case law in this country, and I'm quoting you from the U.S. Supreme Court. The judges wrote that this nation is founded on the, quote, profound national commitment to the principle that debate on public issues shall be uninhibited, robust, and wide open, and that it may well include vehement, caustic, and sometimes unpleasantly sharp attacks on government and public officials. That's constitutional case law in this nation. I don't have to be nice to you. Nobody behind me has to be nice to you. If you don't like living in the United States of America, then you can all move to Russia, Cuba, or China. This is the First Amendment.
Whoa. I don't have to be nice to you. Nobody has to be nice to you. If you don't like it, if you don't like living, and you don't like the idea that this case has come up, the Supreme Court sided with those that are like, listen, I can call you whatever I want to call you. You don't like it? And there are parents that were cheering that on. Look, ultimately, here's the thing. That there are going to be more people that are going to express what they are concerned about at school board meetings, at PTA meetings, at all kinds of places. And you have a choice. I'm saying those that, not the people that show up because they are having a problem with what's being taught. I'm talking about the other side. You liberals that are out there that are listening here in Southwest Florida, you have a choice. You could either listen to the parents, you can listen to those families that have a concern and legitimately talk about their concerns and examine what's going on in your schools and your districts, or you can ignore them and make believe like it's not happening and try to gaslight people into believing that it's not happening and you are as pure as the wind-driven snow and that they need to move on. And in which case, we're not going away because it's real and it is happening and we've had enough. Many parents across the country have had enough. And if you don't like that somebody is calling you out, he's calling him Benito Mussolini because they, the district, decided to edit out portions of school board meetings to make them look like, make it look like the community wanted what they were doing. Censoring? How is that not leftist? How is that not fascist? How is that not Marxist? How do you defend that? And so that there are people pushing back. Yeah, you checking the time? We need to go. We're not going away. And we're going to continue to have this talk. And either you have a legitimate answer to this or you're going to make it all about your emotions and your feelings. And in which case, we know that you are losing. And in which case, we will continue to push. Because we're not having this in our schools. All right, let's find out how the remainder of the forecast is shaping up. Is that Casey Sherman that's doing it today? Okay, let's find out what's going on right now.
Another textbook summer afternoon on tap for us, hot, humid with